And with that, I am live. What is up, everybody? Anthony, thank you so much for being here. We are going to be watching some of the worst Starfield takes in general. Honestly, there have been just so many. Anthony, do you mind telling me, does the audio sound okay? I think I finally worked it out so it doesn't sound so loud anymore. I know I used to have that issue with some of the other headphones. But I think we should be solid as far as any of that goes. But you guys tell me if anything sounds okay. But if you have not seen, Starfield is out, and I quite like it, actually. I have put, roughly, just so you guys have a little bit of an idea, I have 36.5 hours, roughly. I've got 20 achievements. I beat the main story. First Bethesda game I've ever beat a main story, actually. What's up? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. I don't think I'll be here long because I got things to do. Hey, man, that's all right. I appreciate you stopping by either way. Hours I have in Starfield, Anthony. I've got 36.7. So I have played quite a bit of Starfield. That was actually also within, I want to say it was within about the first three to 4 days of playing it that it released. I played quite a bit. Yes, it did just come out. I really like Starfield. Now, I don't think it's perfect. Honestly, I don't think any Bethesda game is perfect. Specifically Bethesda games. But I think I like Starfield more than I like most Bethesda games. And the only reason I say that is because I finally feel like Bethesda nailed down their combat. Honestly, like they really nailed down their combat. Are you covering King Thrash's take on Gas Giants? Oh, hello, Mr. Gamer. I am intending on it. I have to kind of be careful with Thrash's content, but since I don't have this monetized anyway, I think we should be okay. The problem is, like, Thrash makes very long videos, so that's one thing. The other thing is Thrash loves to throw out the N-word a lot, and for obvious reasons, I want to try to skirt that as much as I can. But yeah, I don't mind trying to cover Thrash. How many villains are supposed to be in Spider-Man 2? That is a good question. From what I can tell, I think we are looking at... What are we looking at? Like 3, I think? We got Venom, Lizard, and Kraven. So my assumption is they're going to kind of focus on those 3. There may have been another one, but I don't personally remember. Oh, damn, they're adding Mysterio. That is interesting, actually. I would love to see that. Spider-Man 2, Mysterio. I love Mysterio, so that would be super cool if he's getting in. That's from the original Spider-Man 2 game. That's a throwback. Let's see. That looks awesome. I would love Mysterio. Mysterio is so cool. Buzzley, hello. Thank you for stopping by, my friend. I have taken a break from my mini hours that you so graciously lended to me for Baldur's Gate 3, and I played 36.7 hours of Starfield. So I'm not like, the most well-revered person to place or to talk about Starfield, but compared to the people who have put less time in, I feel like I have a pretty good, solid understanding of what Starfield is. So I intend to both talk to you guys about it from my review standpoint, as well as go over some of the worst takes of Starfield. So thank you, Buzzley. I appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to crack open a Smirnoff real quick. I'm going to need alcohol for this one for sure. All right, so what say we cover the shortest one, I would say. Let's see what you said. I like Starfield, but there are some things that are putting me off. Like it's trying to get to point A to point B. The story is kind of which is not a good in an RPG, and that map. The map, I agree. The map is very confusing. Not the star map necessarily, but the ground map. That needs to get addressed. I do think that they were addressing it in an update, so good for them on that. But yeah, I agree. Story... I don't know how I feel about the story. To be fair, it's a Bethesda game, so like most stories in Bethesda games, I don't think the main stories are the interesting parts. Oh, sweet. Thanks for sending that in chat, Mr. Gamer. I will take a look at that. I would say the story is serviceable. More so than the main story, I do want to tell you there are some really, really good side stories in Starfield. So if the main story is kind of what has you down about it, rest assured, there are some great side content. Oh god, Heal versus Man, baby. Yeah, Zombie, what's up? I appreciate it. Yeah, from what you told me, you like the game a lot. I do, yeah. I find it very enjoyable. And to be fair, completely fair, I am a very big space fan. So, I mean, I don't know if you could tell by, like, all of the subtle hints on my YouTube channel with, like, rockets and stars and, like, all that jazz. You know? Like, I'm a big space fan. So, when it comes to space games, I'm pretty critical, but I think Starfield nailed it. It's just blue dots. Blue dots to me. Yes, I hate that. I think that was easily one of the worst things. Hill versus Baby Puke. So, basically, I want to kind of just put into Starfield 6.6. I think it got review bombed by some PlayStation fanboys, so I don't really trust the average score on that. 83. I think 8 to 10 range, I think that's a very fair. I think the worst review... Oh, actually, I need to add that down real quick. I think the worst review we're going to watch tonight is probably from Jim Sterling? Yeah. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. Oh, boy. The Jimquisition one, I'm going to be tearing apart quite a bit. But yeah, I think Starfield is literally the boring parts of No Man's Sky, which for some people, the boring parts in No Man's Sky are the whole allure of No Man's Sky. So it's hard for me to like really hate it on that. Let's see here. I think 7 is a good score for this game. Yeah, I don't disagree with the 7 necessarily. We're going to be watching some stuff that kind of points out a 7, but their words don't really reflect that. Overall, though, I don't think a 7 and 8. I don't think that's bad. I think anything under like a 6 is harsh. Like this one is just skirting it. It also depends on what you want, because this is a very different Bethesda game than what we're used to. Hello, Webb's the Cave Spider. I appreciate you stopping by. I don't believe I've seen you on here before, but I really appreciate you coming by the stream. Hopefully you enjoy what you see. We're going to watch a ton of Starfield content. So, I have been tipping my toes in it, and so far I like the environments and the exploring is pretty cool. For me, I say it's better than No Man's Sky. Yeah, I think it's an 8.5 so far. I think that's a very fair way to look at it. And once again, for the amount of time I put into it, this is the first time I've beat a Bethesda main story, and I've been playing Bethesda games since Skyrim. So the fact that I went back, I played all these Bethesda games, and I've never took the time to beat a main story in a Bethesda game, it kind of says a lot. And there is kind of a reason to do it. I won't spoil why, but there is a reason to do it. YouTube added a new option for chat mods. We can now check fan funding, which includes super chats. Nice. I've never seen that before, but that's awesome. Can we agree that we shouldn't listen to Jimquisition even if he made a good review on a game? I 100% agree with that. I don't think I've seen a review from Jim that has been, like, good in a very long time. Like, objectively good. I love Skyrim. Skyrim is great. I still, to this day, really like Skyrim. Yeah. So who did the new profile picture? Oh, yeah. My buddy, Michael, my buddy Mike, we'll call him. Well, he goes by Fonz more so we'll just call him Fonz. He did a fantastic job of making my new profile picture. Actually, I should show you guys. I don't want to shill, myself here, but I actually did put it, so if you guys are interested in the new logo at all, I actually did get it on some new merch. So the merch store, as per usual, is in the links and everything, but I do have it on like some stuff. So if you want it on a Switch case, or if you want a hoodie or a sweatshirt, it's Halloween season, so a zombie bowl of rice. What could look better? Yes, I'm shilling my own content. Shameless shill based. I appreciate that. I played Skyrim for over 80 hours and I've not even really touched the main story. That's what I'm saying. You just don't have to, you know? Never trust anything Stephanie Sterling says. I agree. By the way, full disclosure here. I know Jim or Stephanie goes by, I think she goes, does she go by her? I'm going to mess it up because I've always known them as Jim Sterling. So please apologize. I'm definitely going to mess it up. And I don't really feel like Jim is very respectful in the first place. So I do have pillow merch. I had all this stuff for the longest time, but I thought the zombie profile was so cool. And with Halloween coming up, yeah, why not? You know, I don't think I've ever actually sold any merch. So I figured I would say, bro, it's fine. We have a zombie fan, but now there's like some zombie. Hey, you know, zombie fan and Rice merch collab. Well, enough waffling. How about? Why don't we go ahead and get right into heel versus babyface? We all disrespect Jim. Absolutely. I don't think any self-respecting person really respects. This one's an easy one to kind of go through, and it's short, so I think we'll go through this one first. Which, by the way, for those saying that Starfield is woke, have you ever watched Star Trek? You know, Star Trek from the very early 60s, shall we say. Clearly, this man maybe has never done that. But let's go ahead and watch. Let's watch.
I just want to say something to you, Bethesda. Just want to say a little something. There is nothing I love more. Taking my headphones off. Fuck that. Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than...
That is very fair, Webbs. Baldur's Gate 3 is... We want to talk about Starfield being woke. That's the wrong game. I got the sound clip on my soundboard. Oh, that's fantastic. That is such a good clip.
And to...
Get ready. Here we go. I need to hear it.
To sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my god, just think of this world, just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the places.
You know what I really love about this little build-up to him screaming? Is that he gives you a very good description of why you should like Starfield. Mom, pick me up, I'm scared. He used to slightly respect Jim, but ever since he went full Spurg over his gender, it was just, Yeah, that's essentially how I feel. It's just very, very unfortunate.
Places I go. I'm so excited to go there. And you know, I love nothing more than, with all of that laid out in front of me, I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current day us.
I love how
Sorry, do you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit!
God, I didn't realize he said the Californian thing. Oh, it's so good. Pronouns!
That's all we fucking know! Because we're boring! We're so fucking boring!
Man. Oh my gosh. I just need... Look at this. Look at the anger. I agree, he does look like a thumb. In fact, when... Oh, there's the article. I didn't actually look at the article. I love watching King Thrash get duped on by the Twitter text. No, when I saw heel freak out, I immediately thought of this. For those of you who know what this is. I immediately thought of this. I don't know if you've ever seen those old thumb movies, but I immediately thought of this. I really actually, you know what would be incredible? Oh, this would be incredible if we took his face and just put it on Thumb Wars. I want you to giggle like a girl. The thumb. Oh, yes. Oh, Web's coming in clutch with that. Yes. The thumbs from Spy Kids. This. Oh, see, we've already got some. Bro, this is him. We're still got console wars, and now pronouns wars are among us. See, and the thing about the pronouns, right? We need those to speak. You know, like, it's not like Bethesda was like, oh, by the way, oh yeah, Webs, it's much appreciated. This is great. It's not like pronouns are inherently woke, which I think is funny that he's treating them as if they are, because honestly, like, Bethesda, if they wanted to go really woke, they could have gone way further than just giving you an option for pronouns, you know? Is there a horror game starring these dudes? I don't know. I'm curious. Oh, I should have known it was going to be, like, just severed thumbs. If I look up thumb person... Yeah, see, we've got a couple of people already cosplaying as a thumb, so I mean... I want to see his face, though, on, like, the next Apple commercial. Somebody goes down to type in, "Hi, I can't believe they did this to me," and it just says, "Fucking pronouns!" They could have gone Baldur's Gate 3 on us. 100%. Dude, Baldur's Gate 3, you want to talk about a game that could be considered woke. Although, for Baldur's Gate 3, it's Dungeons and Dragons, so, you know, it's like... Anybody you're going to play with is probably going to do something crazy in... Baldur's Gate 3. So having, like, everything in there is just weird, you know? Whereas my trigender pronoun in Starfield, fucking transphobic game. Oppenfielder. Dude, it's just so weird. Kill versus Baby's father. Is that you? Ah, yes. His father. Is that a mugshot? I just want to take his face. Actually... No, I don't have it saved. I thought I had his face. You just very nicely put that over that. And you have heel versus thumb. Where are my attack helicopter pronouns? That's what I'm saying, dude. Starfield is copper phobic. I know. I personally... I identify as a Coke can. So, I mean, you know, I didn't see an option to put that in. I agree, Anthony. It is just a video game. It is really just not that serious, you know? It really isn't. Coke nouns? Check general in your server ice. Absolutely. Let's go to... Oh, lovely. Can we open this guy up? So, go back here. And that just very nicely... Coke, Pepsi. Just lovely. That is just great. I love that he instantly became a Wojak. That is much appreciation there, Zombie. Oh, that is a lovely thumb. Lovely thumb. All right, let's let this man finish spurging, and then we'll reconvene.
Boring.
I forgot I left it there.
We can't see past our own fucking reflection!
Well, not if you're a thumb, because you don't have eyes.
That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda Western Game Company!
I do kind of think it's funny that he thinks it's because it's a Western game company that it's like this.
Fuck your immersion! Fuck you having a good time! Fuck you falling into a world and just getting lost! No, no, no! Current fucking day!
Is it just me, or does it look like his camera, like, fell over slightly? Because I feel like the angle was way straighter than this at first.
Fuck off! You're boring! You're fucking dull! You have nothing to say! You are a one-hived mind twat waffle! That's all you fucking are.
Oh my.
And you wonder why people are getting so fucking sick and tired. You take everything we love, all our emotions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit, fucking crap ideology into everything, every single solitary fucking thing.
I was starting to get worried that, like, because I can hear the spit, and I started thinking he was, like, spitting on my screen. That is how angry this man is. It's just not that serious. I don't get what he means by current day. I'm assuming he means, like, 2023 politics. Although the problem is, like, if I remember correctly, it was the girl that is a clone of a guy. That is super normal in sci-fi. I don't know why he's so freaked out by that. I don't think this man has ever watched Star Trek or, like, Star Wars or anything sci-fi. God. I think that was the thing that, like, that threw him off. Because it wasn't just the pronouns thing originally. Because if you watch the with full context, which this isn't, it literally is when he's talking to a guard or something and she says that she's a clone. Yeah, it's like it should have been something bigger, honestly. It shouldn't have just been like, oh, you're talking to a clone, so now I'm going to freak out about pronouns. Howdy ho, Alistair. Thank you for coming by. Sorry that you had to come in and immediately see a thumb. Twat waffle, by the way, is the funniest thing I think I've ever heard. I know that... Very silent. Jeez, was it really that? So I guess that's a no on the mustard. Could you imagine at Subway? Like, my guy is, like, terminally online, so he's always, like, trying to think about that, like, he doesn't have, like, an echo chamber to talk to. That would be so funny. He's just at Subway. So that's no on the mustard? He's, exactly. Getting mad over science fiction shit is weird. It just is. I kind of get where he comes from a tiny, very tiny bit, but it's just a video game, so I do not care. Exactly. Like, and the thing is, why go after Starfield of all games? Like, there are, I mean, like we said earlier, Baldur's Gate 3 is way more prime for that shit than Starfield. Like, Starfield is super normal. I love Star Wars and OG Star Trek. Yeah, exactly. That stuff's great. React to his response. Sure, is that the one you put in the chat here?
Man has opinion about...
Okay, dude, it's not just man has opinion. You spurred the hell out. That's very different than man has an opinion. But we'll hear him out.
Man has opinion about video game. Internet goes absolutely nuclear crazy about opinion on...
Look how Reddy's getting already talking about this. X Lucas, what's up? Thanks for stopping by, man. Hello, gamers. Where's the goth mommies at? Zombie Fan is in charge of bringing them. So, if he did not bring them, then they are not here yet.
On video game. Is this actually about opinion on video game? No, this has nothing to do with opinion on video game. This has everything to do with going after the far left sacred cow.
Dude, but it was in response to a video game. You don't...
of gender ideology.
But you're talking about sci-fi concepts. Cloning, nonetheless. If she was like, well, I used to be a guy, but then I'm a girl, but then this and then that, then okay, sure. But she is a clone. And we'll show the context here. He shows the context. Nier, what's up? Much love. I love you very much. Love you, Ricey. Love you, Nier. Shmi. Much love. Okay.
Had the early access release for Starfield. Some people are loving it. Some people not so much. Me personally, after 25 hours or so into the game, I'm struggling. I'll just be completely honest. When you're in a build...
But struggling with what exactly?
area. Some of it graphically can look very nice indeed. The gameplay is solid enough when you're actually doing something, but that's half the problem. I've found the explorative nature of this game exceedingly dull and boring. I've found...
Okay, that's totally fair. I will come back with one thing, though. If this is really great. This is really great, by the way. If you liked No Man's Sky, there is no reason you should not like Starfield. Just to be completely clear on the exploration and crafting stuff, there is no reason you should not like Starfield. Unless it's subtle nitpicks like the vehicles. I think vehicles would have been a really good addition. But yeah. God, I hate that border. Why is it there? There should be no reason. I agree. It's really, really... You want to talk about dull and boring. So fucking boring!
Found the characters not remotely engaging, and the dialogue has a lot to be desired.
As long as the credits keep rolling in, life's good.
I struggle to understand the problem with that. The pirates, I don't know if you've met any of the Crimson Fleet, but they're not exactly the sharpest people. That's why they're pirates, you know?
But having an opinion on the internet, well, heaven forbid anyone have one of those. But this video is...
Webbs, you make a very good point. So I love the exploring. I didn't even really like No Man's Sky, and I was so baffled when I just caught myself exploring these empty planets. And I was like, why couldn't No Man's Sky do this? Yeah. Well, and I think the thing that Starfield does that's really cool, that No Man's Sky didn't do, is every planet you go to, you have to scan the resource. You have to complete the survey of the planet. And even though you do that in No Man's Sky, there's like how many? 18 quintillion planets in No Man's Sky, so nothing feels doable. Starfield, there's a lot of planets, but you could conceivably survey all these planets. They feel doable. You know, like, you don't have to, like, in No Man's Sky, you literally have to, like, you can rename the species, and you can, like, scan, like, every little thing, but everything in No Man's Sky is procedurally generated. Not everything in Starfield is. So everything in Starfield is hand-done when it comes to, like, the enemies and the creatures and that. So, I don't know, man. I think there's more of a purpose in Starfield, but that's just me. My main criticism of Starfield is the horrendous performance, missing quality of life features like native DLSS and FOV slider and exploration. Absolutely. I actually, personally, I kept having this weird glitch where my character kept looking to the left, and when I would sprint, they keep looking to the left. That was, like, the only thing that really, like, annoyed me, personally. I killed Starfield, but I didn't really, though. It's the title of his second response. It's really just sad, man. They're adding all of that. Yeah, that's the thing, too. A lot of the stuff you mentioned, Lucas, they're actually adding in with the patch. So, like, I agree that it should have been there at launch, but at least it's fixable stuff, you know? Most of the stuff that people have an issue with can very easily be fixed, thankfully. There's way too many research facilities filled with pirates. Dude, so quick side note. I watched one thing I love about Starfield. When you are exploring a planet and you hear a ship above you, you can watch where that ship lands. And as you're watching that ship land, what I'll do is I will go and watch who comes out of it. Because it's not always a bad guy. It's not always pirates. But I actually triggered my favorite quest line by stealing a ship. So I followed the ship that touched down. In fact, I actually think... oh, I love that that's... I gotta go to my Twitter here. I want to show you a picture that I took. By the way, shamelessly, I think this game is beautiful. I understand people saying it looks bad sometimes, but... Okay, where do we go? Where are we at? So check this out. Considering applies. I just want to show you this because it's super cool. Okay, so this picture right here. I saw this ship getting ready to land, right? So this ship lands, a bunch of pirates come out. They were super low level. I take them out, And I had it before where the pilot stays in just in case, and they will take off. So what I did was I made sure to kill all the remaining pirates outside. Then I went into the cargo hold. I managed to stay on board while he took off. So he took off into the star system. I'm on the ship. I don't know where he's going. But I kill the pilot. And then I wanted to go register my ship at Jettison. So I go there. I put that ship, or I go to, like I'm going to register it, but I get caught with contraband because I didn't realize there was contraband on board. I promise I'll get to the chat here in a second. And then right after that, I get wrapped up into a whole storyline about the Crimson Fleet and going undercover just because of this random thing I did. So I then decide to go undercover for the UC, working underneath the Crimson Fleet. And then from there, I got to go do like a whole like treasure hunt and everything. It is the craziest stuff. Like, none of that was scripted. None of that. I mean, maybe the quest line, but the way that I got to that quest line was not scripted. I just wanted to steal a ship, and I did, and that's what gave me there. Let's see here. He labeled content creators mocking and criticizing him cancellation. It's really not. I mean, nobody's canceling him. We just thought it was funny. You know, I hope they make an update where you can build vehicles. That would make exploration so much better. I agree. I actually think vehicles would be much better in this game. Like, I know that they didn't want to, but I honestly think that, like, at least a little rover, you know, a little sand buggy or something would add a lot. I like the ships landing down. I lied to a ship captain that I was a courier and essentially stole his stuff. That's so good. And that's the type of stuff, man, that is so cool. I really felt on this planet, by the way, I don't remember where it was, but I really felt like I was on Arrakis in Dune. It had that feeling. I love that picture. Can you please send it in Fritz server? Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I love about this game. It's so dynamic. Maybe even a push bike would be nice. Oh, I would take that. I'd love a moon bike. Storyline, some people are very 50-50 on it. I thought it was pretty cool. I kind of was hoping for a little bit more, but overall, I thought it was a really nice meta storyline, which I won't explain why it's meta, but I thought it was at least a fun ride. It got me to see the end, which is kind of what the game wants you to do. Vehicles are definitely possible if some guy modded cars into Fallout New Vegas. Exactly. And I mean, the starship feels totally fine to control. So it's like, just add some of those controls onto something on land. Want to know the irony? I was just arguing with somebody else about how retarded Heel's takes on Starfield was, and they're a follower of him. That's so funny. It really is a pretty dumb take, honestly, because it's just not that crazy. I one time was about to leave the New Atlantis, but then Sarah said, can we go to Constellation and get some ammo? And that's what I do, and then this news reporter comes to me and says the news needs to interview me, and I went on this whole quest line all because I decided to go back. Yeah, like, that's the thing. This is also probably the most NPC-filled Bethesda game I've ever played. I've never had so many NPCs on screen in a Bethesda game. Like, it is absolutely insane. And most of the quest lines that I'm picking up are actually just things that my character hears. Like, I literally will be just walking in New Atlantis, and I'll hear somebody saying something mildly interesting, and then all of a sudden it adds it to my quest log. It happened right before you booted up your stream. That is so funny, though, that it was like right before you started watching. Okay, let's, suppose we should probably, that's probably enough. But yes, I will absolutely send this to you. In fact, I'll just put it in mine as well. I'll do a photo dump of some Starfield stuff. I have a lot more photos than that. I wish they added it to Skyrim. I agree. I like how many quests Starfield has. Fallout 4 had barely any side quests. Yeah, and I was very excited for Fallout 4, but this is head and shoulders better in the RPG aspect than Fallout 4, for sure.
Isn't about that. I'm not going to treat you like you don't know what is actually going on. Towards the beginning of the game, the character creation, we were greeted with a pronoun option. So very current day of Bethesda, because it appears at some point during the last couple of years, Pete Hines seems to have forgotten what gender he is. Never.
To be completely fair, though, when you pick a man or a woman, it does auto default your pronouns to he or she. So it's kind of weird to get mad about that. Yeah, most of the side quest was just the settlement needs your help and only your help because we're all incompetent. Exactly. Nothing so far really feels like that in Starfield. Except maybe like I had to go find a researcher in a cave, maybe.
Never mind. So I went on a little bit of a rant to my streaming audience because I was unhappy with the fact that
also
every aspect of our entertainment today, we seem to be pulled out because the people creating it are more concerned with inserting current day into absolutely everything.
But here's the problem, though. It's a role-playing game. If somebody wants to role-play... Okay, think about this for a minute, right? What if somebody wanted to roleplay as the Borg from Star Trek? The Borg is not a single entity. The Borg is literally all connected. So they, them would actually make sense for the Borg. So, I don't think... I think he's missing the role-playing aspect of this option. It's not about gender so much as it is... so much as it is just science fiction stuff, man. Like, if I wanted to roleplay as the Borg and they, them wasn't an option... Bro's bringing back Star Trek memories. Exactly. Like, if I wanted to... What if I wanted... And I won't spoil the end of the game, or the main quest, but they, them would actually be an interesting route to take. That's all I'm gonna say. It's really not that crazy, man. Whoa, game where you play as a role, you just blew my tiny brain eyes. Exactly. And it's like, what if I wanted to be... What if I wanted to pretend that I was like an android or something, right? What if I wanted to be very sterile in my RPG playing? And so I wanted to act like... I went for more of a snarky space scoundrel. But what if somebody wanted to be a super clinical, like Data from Next Generation, right? He's missing the RPG aspects of this big time. Unrelated, but what's your favorite secret food? Ooh. Now, when we say secret food, do you mean like food that, like, when you go to a place, you ask them to do it? Because my sister did one the other day that was super good. She went to Starbucks and she asked for like a pumpkin, like a pumpkin iced chai latte. But then what she did was I see, strawberry mixed with soda as an example. That is a good question. My wife likes ketchup on macaroni and cheese, and I think that's weird. But then I like garlic salt, or a little bit of garlic in my eggs, and my entire, her side of the family thinks I'm weird for that. So, I don't know. I really like things to be kind of garlicky sometimes. Like, sometimes, like the egg situation or whatever, if I want a more savory taste. So I guess that would probably be like one of my weird things would be like I like garlic and eggs, or I like to get really fancy when I make really basic stuff. Pete Hines did lie about the PC version being buttery smooth. Yeah, I think it's been smoothed out now, but in New Atlantis, my game was chugging really bad day one. Who the hell's Miscarriage? Is not to be named. Oh, Mischief. Okay, I was like, dude, who's Miscarriage? Quantum versus Babyface TV. That'd be interesting. Data is the GOAT. I agree. Data's so great. But yeah, I really think he's missing a lot of the RPG aspects of this game, because this game is really going for more of an RPG experience.
Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, myself think...
Okay, he just replays the rant. Let's just go on.
That I took out. But this was tweet...
Yeah, Alistair, I don't disagree with that. I think that the performance could be much better. I really don't know if it's just that lack of DLSS or what, but like Cyberpunk for me is running better than Starfield right now for comparison.
Tweeted out by...
running 1440p low settings and only getting... Really? 30 to 45. Yeah, see, that's low.
Hassan Piker after Dan Vask. And it went, a tinge viral. And he says, this weird British guy... Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough. Losing his mind over selecting pronouns in Starfield is the perfect demonstration for why we must bring back lobotomies. Well, Hassan, at least they would be able to lobotomize me. You, however, I don't think they would actually find enough brain cells. And if you don't know who this guy is, let me introduce you to him.
So you said America deserved 9/11. Did you mean that?
Yeah.
And that other...
You know, that may be cherry picked, but God, that's interesting. Heller has just hit 3K subs, dude. Congrats to Heller. Wow, that's awesome, dude. I love Heller so much. Playing Starfield at 1440p low with DLSS mod with an RTX 3060. Lowest FPS I got was around 50 in New Atlantis. That sounds about on par for me. He just goes, yes. He's streaming his 3K celebration right now. Dude, big congrats to Heller.
The person that he...
In fact, why don't we, real quick, why don't we just go give Mr. Heller a little bit of love? Well, we'll come back in 10 minutes, actually, and give him some love when he's on there. But if y'all want to go and like the video for him, I would not be upset. My man deserves the love. Heller is fantastic. If you guys want to click on that, go share like for Heller, and then we'll come back and we'll all we'll spread some love with him when he gets back on his stream. Mine's a 3060 running everything at lowest settings. Even Baldur's Gate 3 runs 6070. Yeah, exactly. Baldur's Gate 3 runs fine. Yes, we're going to show our crab homie some love. Heller is great. And as I've said before, Heller is one of the reasons I even have a YouTube channel. Specifically because he inspired me that much. A lot of people thought that I was inspired by Griffin, which to an extent, maybe. But I thought Heller's content was more interesting, personally. So, big shout out to Heller. In fact, we'll just pin it. That way, when we want to go back to it. Yeah, I agree, man. You should not be getting that low, though, for a 3060. Oh, gee, is he going to play Garfield Kart?
He was being interviewed by was his uncle, Cenk Uygur. Let's see what Cenk Uygur has to say about certain things, shall we?
If I were the benevolent dictator of the world, I would legalize bestiality where you are giving, where you are pleasuring the animal. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Okay. Now why? Why did that happen?
I don't know, Cenk. Maybe it had something to do with the, I don't know, fucking animals part. What the hell is wrong with your family, dude?
By the way, the bestiality comment was apparently a joke. See, that's the thing, too. I feel like he's really just cherry-picking, but I agree. It did look edited, because if you go back, you could see it, like, cutting in and out, so... I don't know, man. It feels like he's just kind of cherry-picking.
Needless to say that I'm pretty okay with having a conflicting opinion to somebody like Hassan. But this isn't just about pronouns. That's the disingenuous argument that people want to latch onto, so that you don't talk about the gender ideology and the intersectionality that's been rammed into every single solitary facet of our entertainment, from video games to TV, film.
You gotta discredit them before hearing their criticisms of him. Otherwise, it doesn't look as genuine, which is ironic for him saying this is disingenuous.
Comics, etc., etc.
Listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier.
Yes?
So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there.
You're a dude.
My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance.
Uh-huh.
The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place.
Yeah.
I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC...
Now, did I have that reaction because I'm a nut?
You're breathtaking.
Oh, Lucas. Oh, Lucas, that is too kind of you, sir. You did not have to do that, but you did it anyway. Thank you so much, sir. And the immortal words of Lucas, I love schizo, emo, pussy. or $$E. Lucas, that is too kind. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate that. Currently, any donations or anything like that, I didn't put a tip goal or anything on there, but they're all actually going to my wife's diabetic medication. So I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. That didn't seem that bad. No, exactly. In fact, let's just watch it one more time so we can get the full picture. I have to leave for maybe an hour. See you in a bit. Hey, no problem, man. I appreciate it. Why is the Guts theme used here? Abyss Watcher, thank you for showing up. I think that is so funny, dude. It's so funny. Oh, Mrs. Rice is in the chat. Much love to Mrs. Rice. You're very welcome. That's nice. Hope she gets better soon. Thank you, man. Yeah, she anything that I get from and Mama Drake. Fantastic. Yeah, anything I make from YouTube is basically my intentions are to put it towards insulin, things like that. Unfortunately, Mrs. Rice found out a few weeks ago she is diabetic, but we're plucking away. We're doing our thing. So much love to Mrs. Rice. YouTube didn't let me sit. Oh, I wondered if that was why you did the dollar signs. Much love either way, Lucas. Thank you. I appreciate that. Bless your wife. Thanks, Mr. Gamer. I appreciate that, man. Let's go back here, though. I want to get the full context for this, right? So this lady, I believe she is just like the front desk person for the UC. So technically, give some of that lust demon. I am almost positive. Like, and the thing too, this thing where she comes out and she goes, "Hey, I have something to tell you." A lot of NPCs in this game do that. Yeah, the facial animation makes me cringe. Bye, Mrs. Rice. Much love. I will see you when you get home. Give her a mod wrench. All right, gotta go now. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate you stopping by, man.
Yes?
So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there.
You're a dude.
My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance.
Uh-huh.
The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how disinterested he looks, by the way? He literally doesn't care until she says this part. I'm a dude. I love the facial animations. They're goofy. I really like how it zooms in on him and it doesn't even show other people around, unless people walk in the frame. I kind of like that. I don't know why. Maybe it just feels kind of old school. Thinking about Carlock, I see. Oh, hey, we're all thinking about Carlock, in fairness, Abyss. For me, I'm thinking of Shadowheart, but, point still stands. I would have said Tiefling. The Fallout energy. Female character or trans clone. I don't know. How does that even work? Because they're not even technically... Are they human at that point? I guess it really depends.
I'm a clone of a man named Francois.
Right? Man wasn't paying attention. She said clone. She said of a man, and that's when he looks up.
Wassanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC.
Now, did I have that reaction because I'm a nasty, naughty transformophobia? No, I had that reaction because it was so obvious because we're dealing with current-day gaming company.
Dude, it's just not, though. It's science fiction. We're all clones of rice. Yeah, you're all my ricelings. You guys are all grains of rice. Even the females. So, I mean, in that sense, am I current daying you or am I science fictioning you? You be the judge of that one.
In actual fact, you could go far as to say we're dealing with current day entertainment in the West.
But it's just not, though. It's not Disney.
We have the Act Man, a React channel that has 1.8 million subscribers.
Current Rice Day. Exactly. Current day rice. What does current day rice look like? Today I'm white. Tomorrow it could be brown. Day after that, it could be anything, dude. I might even be a nice spicy Spanish rice. You never know. The React man. Yeah, he's not so much a reaction channel as much as he is a reviewer that does reactions. Starfield graphics are great. I don't get the complaint. I don't either, man. That picture I put up from earlier, that's exactly why. He literally outed himself as transphobe by saying transformer, which I've seen used in a derogatory way to demean trans people. Well, and I mean, if you're going to scream about pronouns, and when there weren't even pronouns being brought up, that kind of says stuff. I agree.
Getting mad because a person reacted to a game. By the way, this person recently being cancelled, having his YouTube channel demonetized / pulled down.
Quantum TV is very much the brain tumor. Hey Rice, have you played Ghost Runner? If so, the Ghost Runner 2 demo is out now. Krillix, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that. I love Ghost Runner. Ghost Runner is I want to say an underrated favorite of mine. I say underrated because I just forget about it a lot, but I love Ghost Runner. But yeah, dude, I need to play that. I love Ghost Runner. Thank you for reminding me of the demo, though, because I do want to play that. He wasn't canceled, you giant-looking baby. Yeah, I didn't think he very vehemently didn't understand the quantum drama, but I guess he didn't.
Because he was attacked for having an opinion about something and exercising his right to do so. Now,
that's not even the point, though. Have you gotten Baldur's Gate 3 yet? Yes. Up until Starfield came out, I had 27 hours in Baldur's Gate 3. I absolutely adore it. It's so good. I love metal as well, Lucas. Yes. No, dude, like, Baldur's Gate 3, I was no-lifing until Starfield. And then Starfield came out, and I put 36 hours in over a weekend, maybe? Well, maybe not a weekend, but, like, 4 days or so.
Now, he's actually jumping on that bandwagon to attack somebody who is exercising their right to have an opinion. I guess turnaround is fair play, hey? Don't...
Alistair, he was attacked for having an opinion. The opinion. I'm not saying Hitler was good, but... dude, it wasn't really even an opinion, though. An opinion is forming a thought. The man didn't have a thought. He had a breakdown. Quantum was abusing the copyright system. Exactly. That's a totally different situation. It was a while ago.
Don't worry about the hypocrisy of it, dude. You do you. So his tweet starts off with gorilla-shaped man, which, by the way, I can't take any other way than a compliment. And
why? Bro, honestly, just be thankful he didn't call you a thumb, because that's what we're all thinking. No one's attacking him either. We're just making fun of him. Exactly. This guy, like, people like this are terminally online. Like, they don't know how to take a joke, and it's honestly kind of sad. Oh, yeah. That's right. I do remember that, Mr. Gamer. TPG, what's up? Talking crappy Starfield takes. Yeah, but, like, gorilla-shaped man, I wouldn't take
Silverback, baby. On the verge of crying, we've already had to go into a lie because you want to embellish your inverted commas argument. Shouty man, yes. Ranty man, yes. Angry man, yes. Crying, no.
Your eyes were watering, bro. Don't even tell me that there was none of that. Hey, I'm gonna go play Starfield. Adios. Sounds good, Lucas. Dude, thank you for coming by. I really appreciate it. Let's real quick. I just want to go over to Heller real quick and just see if Heller is actually on now, so that we can
like actual pieces.
Oh, fantastic! If you don't mind, do we want to jump over to Heller real quick and just say what's up? Let's just say, Rice sends his love. Let's just say that.
Bright green. Yeah, and like chocolate and chocolate pieces on top that melt into the. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Right, sense his love.
I also have a toffee nut marshmallow. I have white chocolate, raspberry.
We all liked
and
the
red
stream
velvet.
for you as well, good
And
crab.
those ones I want to roast over the fire. They're really good.
Perfect. We got the audio set up. All right. Oh, hey, like some rice. Welcome. Send your love. Nice. Crab,
That's got an
thoughts on
add-on.
FF7 Rebirth being only 3 months exclusive? I think the Xbox guy is going to be disappointed because we don't remember ABK.
If you all want to click on that link, we're just going to give Heller a quick bit of love here. Just say Rice sends his love and put a little heart maybe.
No, that's it.
I just got an ad for Garfield Lasagna Party, and it just looks like it's a Mario Party, but for Garfield.
Huh?
I remember this from
Yeah.
Internet Historians of
I mean,
Fallout
I played
76
that.
of him saying,
Ayo.
I got so mad I shaved everything off
Yo,
my
the soundtrack
face."
for this game
That's
fucking
great.
rocks.
It's pretty baller, right? All right.
I listen to this when I work out.
I guess Grand Prix. What do we want? Lasagna cup, pizza cup, hamburger
It's so
cup?
funny that this
What
is
do we
his
want?
stream. I'm over here like making fun of a giant man.
All right, random selection. You
Mr.
got it.
Gamer, I'm in your server if you find my Discord.
Wait, how the fuck do I invite people?
What? Can I join you or something?
Then I gotta set. Wait, how the fuck do I? Hold on. Maybe I go to Steam and just do it this way.
Doesn't even show that you're
TBG's gonna think
online
I'm
for me,
a. Well, I
right?
guess I'm not a
Oh.
cannibal,
I
but
can
you get
see
the
you
point.
Hold on. Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
Try now.
Oh,
Because not giving me an option to invite.
Yeah, it's not letting me join. Hold up.
Uh-oh.
wait.
Trouble in
Online.
Garfield Land, it looks like.
Oh, there we go. Under
Oh, lovely.
online multiplayer,
Thank you, mister.
join friends.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Perfect.
Oh. And this game still has a better UI than every Ubisoft game.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's a base take. Okay. Enjoy your stream, Heller. I'm gonna let you go now.
Is that a rank? Do you
I
have
wish
a
it was
rank in the
Pickle.
game?
I guess we have ranks, yeah, since we last played.
How are you A?
I'm gonna get
Garfield Part
diamond
W,
boys.
honestly.
I'm a
What the
badass.
CDL.
I'm
gonna do this
John,
instead.
by the way. I'm John. I'm a John man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm a John man.
May's gonna be a rat man.
Oh my god.
Can't-
there is a
Fuck!
rat.
Now I can't.
I can't join on friend apparently.
What?
There
It
we
just
go.
won't let me.
Wait, why is it auto starting? Hey! Okay, there we go.
Okay, can you join now? It's still starting.
Yeah, guy!
Go.
All right.
Why is-
If you guys
Hold
are
on, I'm
cool,
gonna leave, I'm gonna...
I'm gonna go ahead.
Okay, space is reserved for...
Oh my god.
Not playing this OD's a crime. Okay, fantastic. I should probably go live chat. I don't know what I'm doing here. There we go. All right. Honestly, I'm good on the heel versus babyface crap. If you guys are, I would like to go over to one of my personal L's on this lovely channel or platform that is YouTube. That being Under the Mayo. Also, by the way, I subscribed and turned on notifications. Oh, much love, Webbs. You're the best. Much love. He deserves it. Heller's so great. Forgot to unpause it. Should work now. Oh, yeah, man. I don't know if I want to go full into Mayo, because Mayo hurts my brain cells more than most things in this universe do. But I think we will go ahead and just... Yeah, I think let's just listen to a little bit of what Mayo has to say about Starfield. It starts off on a bad note, I will say that. You both are such W's. Much love, Swebs. Thank you. Thank you for that. I do love my community. You guys are fantastic. Baldur's Gate 3 versus Tears of the Kingdom for Game of the Year. For me, it's Baldur's Gate 3 versus Starfield, but totally understand those who love Tears of the Kingdom. I didn't vibe with Tears of the Kingdom, which surprised me, but let's listen to the horrendous take that is Under the Mayo.
Yes, of course I hated Starfield. That should come as no surprise to anyone.
We are 4 seconds in, and he's already told us how much he hates Starfield. It's like, Mayo, I don't know why I'm surprised when you say you hate anything. Honestly.
It's not unbelievably bad. It's not Redfall, and I'm not going to pretend it is. It's just so underwhelming and mediocre that I can't help but be turned off by it. And when it's as long as it is, I can't avoid feeling this negative towards its mediocrity.
Did he just call its mediocrity a negative? Or... I don't understand.
Got it for free with my new...
I agree, Webbs. I'm glad they all had fun.
processor, so why not try it out?
Is that really how he ended up with a copy of Starfield?
I'm aware that being someone who typically doesn't like open world games, going into a Bethesda open world RPG is likely inviting disaster.
Why even review it then?
But look, I like trying new stuff. It gives me more perspective, it allows me to absorb gaming history, I get to see what other people like, even if I don't like it myself. If I never...
Okay, real quick though, why is he walking around pointing a gun at everybody in a non-hostile environment? That'd be like walking around like Whiterun with your sword out, looking for a fight. Does anyone know if it'll get patched on PC? Because I'm in an interview with Todd Howard. He was basically like, LL, peasants get a 4090. Yes, they put out something the other day, Alistair, about it getting patched. I want to say it's supposed to come within the following week, I thought. I don't know if that's next week or if it was supposed to be this week. But yeah, it is getting a patch. And they're fixing a lot of the issues that we had on it.
Stepped into new territory, I would never come across gems like Slay the Spire. So I am absolutely open to being entertained by an open world RPG, even if just for a few hours. But the real question is, after playing 21 hours of Starfield, how did I play and stomach so much of it when I couldn't stand Elden Ring, which is so obviously a better game?
He couldn't stand Elden Ring. So I'm supposed... Wait, this is Dark Souls footage. This isn't Elden Ring. Bro, come on, man. Don't... This is why I can't stand Mayo. He's boring, he's lazy, and, like, he's out here reviewing stuff that he genuinely doesn't care about just because it's popular. You know, it's like if you said you didn't like this type of game, but... you're just doing it to get into the algorithm, at least you're being honest about it. But bro, come on. This is Dark Souls footage. You're calling it Elden Ring. You're saying how much you didn't like this type of gameplay. And then you're like, oh, let me do a whole review about Starfield, though. Is the white man version of Quantum. I agree with that. Yeah, exactly, Krillix. It didn't even come out in 2021. There is so much lazy effort on here. It is ridiculous. And it's not even just this video. There's so much about Mayo that bothers me. But this is the type of shit that just upsets me beyond belief. Wonder if Anna Waifu has takes on Starfield? I don't know. We can definitely check it after some of these guys.
In so many ways. It comes down to my tastes that are separate from game genre. I am not a fan of medieval fantasy settings.
You're not a fan of fact-checking either. This is Dark Souls 2.
That's one of my main obstacles getting into the Souls games. I'm not into dragons, knights, sorcerers, sword battles, castles, skeleton guys, running around in fields and forests and caves. It bores the hell out of me.
Then why did you even try and review Elden Ring?
I can watch a fantasy movie just fine.
I really don't believe that. You probably put on Conan the Barbarian and this dude is bored as hell.
A few hours, but dozens of hours? No, sir. I'd much rather be dealing with robots or evil corporation zombie outbreaks.
Yo, bro, come on now. A little bit of a spoiler thing. Like, I wasn't showing those rings on purpose, but, like, my man's just out here like, oh, yeah, here's the rings. Jesus Christ. It's like, graphically, it's clearly not Elden Ring. What the fuck? Why wouldn't he even get the right... That's what I'm saying. You do one quick Google search for an Elden Ring trailer or somebody's gameplay and just B-roll it. You don't even have to... It's so easy, man. Oh, he probably does hate Lord of the Rings, for sure. Is he suddenly called an Elden Ring a Dark Souls rehash? Probably, dude. Honestly.
Breaks.
Oh, let's see. Krillix says, I watched Anna's video and first complaint she had was an Asian was the first character. You me. Dude, come on. Yeah, and a white guy. An Asian woman and a white guy are the first people you meet. So, like, come on now. By the way, shout out to Heller in Starfield because the first character you meet along with Lynn is Heller. So, there you go. In a way, we made 2 videos. Oh my god. Yeah, we're gonna watch that.
or suburban religious cults, or giant mechs, or ninjas fighting gods, and suburban be dealing with robots, or evil corporation zombie outbreaks, or suburban religious cults, or giant mechs, or
suburban religious cults? Isn't that just like white girls in Chipotle? Like, maybe I'm wrong, but what's a suburban religious cult?
Ninjas fighting gods and interdimensional travel. That's just me, okay?
Dude, I want to clip that so bad. That's just me, okay?
And no amount of well-designed gameplay or gorgeous art design or well-written story is gonna get me past the fact that I tend to find extended...
Oh, also, by the way, what the hell is going on here? Why is he running around just, like, half naked? Why is he not wearing, like, any armor or anything? I understand he doesn't understand open world RPGs, but dude, come on. The first one was uploaded 10 days ago, and she made a follow-up response specifically 3 days ago. Interesting.
Did periods of time in medieval fantasy settings to
so
be
thirsty.
boring. To me, okay? I'm not saying it's objectively boring. And it's not like I've never had fun with RPGs.
I would like to point out, what does him explaining fantasy stuff have to do with anything?
Or games with a lot of RPG elements in them. Games like Red Dead Redemption, Prey, GTA, they have a lot of RPG design in their DNA, even if you're not gaining XP and speccing into a class.
What? Okay, Prey, yes, because it's an immersive sim, but what the hell do you mean GTA and Red Dead have RPG aspects? Are you talking about, like, when you run a little bit faster and it automatically upgrades your stamina because you ran? What? What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense.
You're exploring the world, influencing characters with your choice.
You're not. No. No, you're not. I don't. Has this man played a GTA game? That is not what GTA is about, or Red Dead for that matter.
Taking side quests, maybe leveling up, absorbing a story, and I like Chrono Trigger. I always
Of course, he's just got to be like, oh, here's this one thing I like.
mention that whenever I talk about RPGs. But the setting greatly influences my enjoyment, and the style of action too. Gunfights with cops and criminals in the streets while sports cars are exploding around me, I'm all smiles. Swinging an axe in a dungeon killing giant rats, not so much. So Starfield, despite being a genre of game I don't typically engage with, had an advantage. It's sci-fi, and I love sci-fi. Exploring planets, getting into gun battles with factions of human civilizations, that sounds pretty cool to me. That's how I'm able to play Starfield for days, while other RPGs that are objectively better wear out my patience really.
Okay, but you use GTA and Red Dead as an example of RPGs. So I automatically have to question what about them makes it an RPG. That is the weirdest thing I've ever heard anybody say. Like Prey, okay, that's an immersive sim, so I get that, right? And Starfield has a lot of immersive sim elements, so if you liked Prey, I mean, Starfield feels pretty similar, just bigger in scope. So, like, what's the problem here?
Really quick. And that's why you'll never, ever hear me talk about Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, good. I was hoping I wouldn't.
I have zero interest in the world of that game.
Thank God. Well, guys, we can at least take solace in the fact that he will not be reviewing probably the best game of the year. That's good to know. I wonder what sci-fi he's watched. I do too. I'm very curious. I feel like, I don't know, man. That something about that just doesn't add up. Number go up. That's RPG now. I guess so, man. I guess so. I didn't realize the whole time, like, all this stuff I've been playing was an RPG.
I don't care how well made it is.
God, he probably thinks Doom Eternal is an RPG. I just thought about that. Deus Ex Human Revolution is an immersive sim. Yes, that's a great one. Honestly, I love immersive sims. They're some of my favorites. I need to play the System Shock remake. That is like one of the last few immersive sims I need to play. Star Wars, I bet his basic as hell. Oh, well, actually, Star Wars could be too fantasy for him because of the lightsabers and stuff, you know?
Everyone loves it, and I'm happy for them. I see myself being utterly miserable playing that game. But I hated Starfield, so let's get into why. First of all, the storytelling is incredibly dry. It's a near constant stream of information being told to you by characters that don't feel like real people. You know what I mean? They sound like actors delivering their lines, and...
Dude, come on. Yes, they're actors delivering their lines, but you just don't like RPGs. Because this is what an RPG looks like, my man. It's not... Oh, God. What does he think about GTA? Like, when a cinematic cutscene's going down in GTA, it's just people delivering their lines. It just doesn't feel real.
And not like actual characters you're interacting with. And a lot of that is due to the format. These aren't dialogue scenes from GTA with fully choreographed acting, where you see your own character fully interacting with everyone they meet.
But you don't make choices, like you said you do.
The characters you come across here largely don't feel like fully realized characters. They come across as shallow and strange, there to serve a larger plot and not actually be interesting characters, like they came right out of a Star Wars prequel film. They're just...
I don't know how to take that, so I'm just going to keep going. Wonder what he thinks about PlayStation exclusives. That is a very fair question. I guess it's the choreography for him, but, like, he's leaning down. Is that not enough choreography? Like, I don't understand. Most internet journalists should present unbiased, informed takes. Mayo's definitely not a unbiased, informed person.
People staring...
Wait, which part, Webbs? I think I maybe didn't catch that.
Like they came right out of a Star Wars prequel film. Really be interesting characters. Like they came right out of a larger plot and not actually be interesting characters. Like they came right out of a Star Wars prequel film.
Okay, let's unpack that. Okay, I understand now why that's such a stupid thing. Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't catch that the first time. So let me get this straight. Revenge of the Sith, by his logic, is a Star Wars prequel film. So, by that logic, he's saying that the characters in Revenge of the Sith, or the movies leading up to it, are unimportant? But Revenge of the Sith is the story about how Darth fucking Vader gets... Dude. Oh my... Come on, Mayo. Dude, come on. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, by his logic, any film that is a prequel film for Star Wars, most or all of the characters come off as not needed and are only serve the bigger plot. Dude, fucking Darth Vader. What are we talking about? The whole prequel trilogy is about him and Obi-Wan. And all of what are we talking about, Mayo? Come on. The prequel films, prequel films. Think about this for a second, right? 1, 2, and 3. Okay? I'm assuming we're all Star Wars people here, or at least know about Star Wars, have watched Star Wars. I have a Star Wars tattoo, so maybe I am biased. But just think about this for a second, okay? The prequel films in Star Wars go 1, 2, 3, Rogue One, and I think that's it, right? And I guess the Clone Wars. So, by his logic, none of those characters had any purpose in existing other than to be there for the larger narrative. Except for the fact that the first 3 films focus on characters that not only build the larger narrative, but are the sole focus of future movies. How does that make sense? The whole point of Star Wars is Anakin Skywalker. But, he's just a character to push the larger narrative forward, whatever. Bro, 1 through 6 is just It's about Anakin. Come on. Why couldn't the Star Trek prequels be as good? Ah, dude, I know. I need to watch more Star Trek. I'm a little behind on my Star Trek. I just don't know as much about it. I also wasn't allowed to watch Star Trek as much growing up, so I have to, like, kind of play piggyback a little, but this is an extremely dumb take.
They're just people staring in your general direction, talking at you. Yes, at you, not with you.
That's an RPG, man.
They speak to you like you aren't really part of this.
Okay, but the problem is your choices are your interaction with them. The modern ones are garbage, I agree. Dude, the more time I've spent with Disney and Star Wars, I just dislike it more and more.
Because they just monologue at you until you get one line of dialogue to
I see you there, Mr. Gamer.
respond. Baldur's Gate 3 appears to be much better about this, giving actual scene direction during dialogue moments, on top of way more convincing voice performances.
How would you know? You didn't play it.
Options are typically very dry and simple. It doesn't feel like a real conversation. And when all the conversations feel like this, it's pretty bad when they're happening all the time. Luckily, with subtitles, you can read what the characters are saying really fast, and just fly through the dialogue and get the gist of what's going on,
Also,
which I eventually started doing once I realized how boring the characters and voice acting really are. Comparing it to GTA again, I remember in GTA how...
But why are you comparing it to GTA? That's not what it is, man. If you should be comparing it to games that are like it. Oh, that's actually really good to hear Ahsoka's a W. I was curious. It looked like they put a little bit in. GTA is a terrible comparison. You should be comparing it to a Dragon Age or a Mass Effect or like something that is in the same realm as it. GTA is nothing like that.
How often I would just naturally come across characters in the world, and that...
Or Skyrim, exactly. Something that is a Bethesda or like an old BioWare RPG or something. You should not be comparing it to an action third-person shooting game.
Makes the whole experience feel more believable. Here, it's more like you're just collecting people, telling them where to go or to stay, and then they just wait for you back at the house, doing nothing, for days. They just stay there, standing exactly in the same spots forever.
They literally run Constellation from the lodge. I wouldn't compare it to No Man's Sky. Yeah, I would agree. Like, it's different than No Man's Sky. That would have been better apt than GTA, but I agree. I think it's very different than, like, a No Man's Sky.
Have lives to lead, it just makes the world of Starfield feel dead. I did actually like the historical aspect of the story, though. There's a part where you go to a museum and hear about the colonization of planets and the wars that happened. It was really interesting to me. I wanted to immerse myself in this world, but the character interactions are so bad that I just couldn't. I never cared about where I was going or what I was doing because it doesn't feel like I'm interacting with anything real. I get accused constantly of not caring about stories in video games.
I mean, I understand why.
And it's just not true. I love the story of Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid. I dove into the story of Signalis from last year. I love a good story.
So you love games that are story-based. That's not what Starfield is.
If I can connect to it. But it's how it's delivered. It has to be delivered in a way where I can enjoy it. And running from planet to planet, doing busy work, just to have people blabber at me non-stop while choosing from largely meaningless dialogue options is not the way to get me to care, okay? The main...
You've made it very clear this genre is not for you. So why even take the time to review it?
Quests are full of busy...
This is literally why I think Mayo is the worst reviewer. Because Mayo does not lack the awareness to notice when something is just not for him. Like, he knows he doesn't like it. But he thinks he has enough intelligence to go on and compare it to... He makes very weird comparisons. They're very, very off base and they don't make any sense. At no point should you be like, oh, Starfield is like GTA, but worse. That doesn't make sense. It's like that would be like comparing GTA to like Fallout. They're not the same.
Easy work. Go here, talk to this person, take this thing over there. I mean, just look at this list of sequential mission objectives for one of the main quest lines. It's busy work.
It's literally you talking to people in your constellation.
So much time is spent just going to talk to someone and then getting a thing and coming back.
Nobody tell Mayo about MMOs. Just realized this is under the Mayo, not synthetic, man. Yes. Yeah, no, man, it's bad. Baldur's Gate 3 would bore him to death because you have to think, oh, yeah, Mayo doesn't have enough brain cells for Baldur's Gate 3. No way.
Hop in your ship and warp to another solar system to board a ship and just listen to a guy talk and then go back. I failed.
What the hell are you doing, Mayo? Where is goddamn spacesuit? I'm sorry. It's so stupid.
To see the point. Several times I did something that felt like it should have some real consequences just to see that, no, it doesn't matter. One mission had me being sent in by...
It's like he played Depraved once and thought every game should be Depraved.
...by a sheriff to disarm or kill some bank robbers. I shot them all, I went downstairs and found some food, and I took it. The owner, one of the hostages I had just saved, saw me take it. He got upset that I took his fucking potato chips or whatever, and he reported me. And
oh my god. Hold on. We're backing this up. Everybody needs to listen to what Mayo just said.
And then go back. I failed to see the point. Several times...
Okay, this quest line he is talking about is in Aquila City. When you first go to Aquila City, there's that bank robbery happening. You can absolutely have that play out in different ways. Listen to what he says.
I did something that felt like it should have some real consequences just to see that, no, it doesn't matter. One mission had me being sent in by a sheriff to disarm or kill some bank robbers. I shot them all, I went downstairs and found some food, and I took it. The owner, one of the hostages I had just saved, saw me take it. He got upset that I took his fucking potato chips or whatever, and he reported me. And the town security forces came in and tried to arrest me for it. Right after saving the hostages.
Because you just committed an act of robbery. You just did. Oh, this is literally... He just said there are no consequences. Instead of talking them down, he chose to fight them. Okay? That's a fully valid way to go about it. Then he steals from the person that was just taken hostage. But he doesn't consider that a consequence? You did that. What are you talking about? That is literally case in point. That is the biggest, like... here's an example of why what I'm saying makes sense. When you actually just disproved in your same sentence why it doesn't make sense.
So I said, fuck that, and I killed all the security forces. Exiting the bank, the sheriff congratulated me on a job well done and offered to recruit me. What?
That's because he didn't see it happen.
What the hell? I just murdered several of your officers during the mission.
He doesn't know that, dude.
Means nothing to you? And then, you're not going to believe this, hours later I came back to this planet for another mission that had me go back into the bank. It's open now, the employees are back to working behind the desk, everything's fine, but the bodies of the cops are still on the floor. Man, how do you take this world seriously?
Okay, that one I will give him. But the whole point is you're supposed to be able to come back for that. But, okay, sure, I understand. But your other thing did not make any sense at all. That could have wholly been avoided. Did you... I don't actually think Mayo knows that they're stealing in the game.
I mean, is this part of the charm? I've never played a Bethesda game before. Are they all like this?
Oh, you don't have to tell me you've never played a Bethesda game. It's very apparent.
Sometimes the objective is to go talk to someone, but pressing talk on that person says they're busy. You can't interrupt them. You gotta just stand there and wait for them to finish whatever they're doing.
That's because you're supposed to listen, because they give you a little bit of story and background. Shoot them like Surprise. Thanks, Mr. Gamer. I appreciate that. This honestly doesn't make sense, though. Like, everything he's complaining about doesn't make sense.
It's really boring. Walter, my man, I'm trying to talk to you. Please.
He's having a conversation. Why don't you wait?
Stop talking to this
I can't believe I'm defending a Bethesda NPC, dude.
chick. I want to talk to you and move on.
That's his wife. You're just a dude that he picked up in a spaceship. Chill, alright?
Walter, come on. Fine, maybe you'll talk to me if she's dead. Alright, now, Walter. Come talk to me, man. Come talk. Walter, come back. Walter, I'm just trying to talk to you. It's what the mission objective says. Walter, please, just talk to me. Fine.
Dude. Oh my god. Mayo actually is an idiot.
And I'll just reload and stand here then. Just stand here and wait for you to finish. Following side quests doesn't make things much better. I tried...
Yeah, exactly, he shot the NPC's wife. He is so impatient.
Running around this cool neon city doing what other people wanted, and there just wasn't anything fun about it. You'll get into firefights, sure, I joined a gang and took part in some criminal activity, but unfortunately...
Well, yeah, dude, considering the fact that you literally didn't even realize he could rob people, I guess that makes sense.
The combat is quite poor. That's because the AI is horrendous. I'm not going to get into bugs. Yeah, there are bugs. The physics are fucked. And things get really weird sometimes. That's the least of the problems. It's a way bigger problem to see how dumb and uninteresting the enemies are.
Yeah, he literally is just going around murdering every single NPC.
Yes, I'm playing on the hard difficulty.
You have got to be shitting me. This man is using the cutter. He is using the mining cutter to fight the first pack of pirates you get. There is literally a pistol. There's a pistol. I think that this quest thing right here, I'm almost positive, is for you to go pick up the pistol. Oh my god. Big country. Murder, murder, murder. That is exactly... That's all he's doing. Thank you for stopping by the stream, by the way. I don't know that I've seen you, but I appreciate you coming by. What? This man, his favorite game is Doom Eternal, but he's going to use the mining tool to fight a pirate. Imagine killing someone's wife because you were impatient. Dude, he literally does not allow himself to get immersed in any of this. It's an RPG. And he's going around just shooting everybody.
The smartest thing an enemy will ever do is try to run away from you and hide. The rest of the time, they're standing out in the open like idiots or just staring at you while you approach to politely murder them.
Under the homicide, honestly.
One over here!
You know what, though? Exactly, it's not a full-blown shooter. He's trying to play it as if it were a boomer shooter. But that's the problem, Mayo. Not everything is a boomer shooter.
The combat sucks.
Okay, I gotta be honest, man. I really like the combat in Starfield. I'm not gonna pretend like every gun is good, but if you've ever played an RPG, the combat is really good. That's why I don't understand what I think his problem is he wants it to be a boomer shooter, and it's just not.
The best thing about it is finding a high-powered weapon that can just quickly eliminate them. And you can use credits to buy more ammo, so you'll never have to worry about not being able to get rid of them.
Well, yeah, he is not actually trying to talk about ammo management in this, is he?
faster the better because they're awfully.
The melee combat in the gameplay clicks more than the gunplay for me. That's fair. I haven't gotten too much into the melee combat, but I saw there was a cutlass, and it makes me realize there's probably like a whole tree worth of melee weapons that I haven't even touched yet. So I'm actually really excited to give it a shot.
Boring to fight. And those are really the biggest reasons why this game ended up being a big waste of time. Despite me liking the sci-fi setting, the characters are boring.
Okay, if he hates it so much, how did he spend 20 hours in it, though?
Conversations are uninteresting. The mission design is dated and filled with tedious errand running. And the AI is stupid, both allies and enemies. What else is there to the game than that? You pick stuff up, you can pretty much pick up anything, there's a lot of junk around. I didn't understand why.
Bro, does he not realize there's crafting in the game?
I was picking up everything because seeing a bunch of junk around makes me think I'm playing Prey.
Oh my god. This man is actually an idiot.
And oh man, do I wish I was playing Prey. You know how in Prey you can use food items for small amounts of healing, and there's a button in the weapon wheel menu that automatically consumes a random piece of food, instead of having to go to each individual piece of food in the menu and select consume? Remember how convenient that was? Remember how convenient it was to be able to instantly consume a piece of food you came across, instead of having to put it into your inventory first, and then open the inventory to go find it in a long list of health items and...
I don't think he knows patience at all. By the way, they actually are implementing that. They realized that that was an oversight on their part, which, good for them, because there was a few times that would have been nice, but yeah, dude, for real, like, it's not that big he really doesn't know what game he's playing.
Then consume it. Prey. Prey is so good. I could probably think of, I don't know, 13 reasons why Prey is better than Starfield. You can sell stuff at stores, but so much of what
Prey and Starfield are so different.
You find is very low in value. Eventually I started ignoring most items and only grabbing things that were actually worth something. And of course, if you carry more than your allowed amount, you're severely punished for it. Now, I'm not gonna rant about this, you can manage it. While there is loot to find, this isn't a looter shooter where you can just carry everything you find.
To be fair, you can't actually do that in looter shooters either, but... Yeah, I really wish you would stop bringing up other games. Focus on this game. That's the thing I don't like about Mayo, is he has to bring every other game under the sun into his discussion about whatever game he's talking about. He made the same comparison between Prey and Cyberpunk when it launched. Because those are so in the same... They're very different, man. Cyberpunk is very immersive sim, but it's on a much grander scale. Prey is closer to like Deus Ex than it is Cyberpunk. Like, come on.
As you run, you expend oxygen and then generate CO2. And if you're carrying too much, you become encumbered, and you won't be able to regen oxygen while moving anymore, or...
So resource management, like you like so much in Resident Evil.
Use fast travel. It sucks, so you need to make sure you're not mashing pick up item on every corpse you loot. You gotta be selective about what you pick up, and later you can upgrade your capacity. Honestly, I don't have any issue with this. If I engaged more in the...
I'm shocked he doesn't, but...
crafting system, I may. I kept extra stuff in my ship, and on my person I kept 4 or 5 weapons, a suit, a helmet, health items, and I was generally able to move around freely. You may have noticed that I spent a lot of time running around in my underwear. That wasn't to run faster or anything like that. I just got bored. I needed something to keep me from falling asleep as I ran around through this empty world talking to people without personalities.
I didn't... me too. I'm flabbergasted he doesn't. Let me get this straight. Okay, the whole time, I was making a joke about him running around like that. There was a purpose for that. He was bored, so he ran around naked? Dude, how low is your... Can you not pay attention? Can you not immerse yourself even the slightest? How did you play this for 20 hours?
Eventually, I stopped running around nearly naked when I found a suit that boosted my reload speed. And you have to use a spacesuit and helmet when in
Yeah. Yeah, he's over here talking about how NPCs look lifeless and everything, but he wanted he wanted to, oh my god, it doesn't make any sense.
hostile environments.
I guess he did.
So yeah, I stuck to keeping my clothes on after a while. But every now and then, I don't know, I walk into a club and I just gotta be free, you know? I guess you gotta make your own fun in these games, huh? Isn't that the point of it all? To ignore the actual missions and run around exploring, kicking dirt in the desert, murdering NPCs? I guess.
You are not supposed to murder all these NPCs, dude. Jesus.
Yes. I was pretty disappointed in the lack of space stuff, though. Space combat almost never happened in the 21 hours I got through. And
yeah, sorry, bud. We're playing very different games. Space combat's always happening to me. Gotta go. Good seeing y'all, too. Hey, no problem, Big Country. Thanks for stopping by, man. Feel free to come back anytime. Much love. We like having you here. Bro's a wanted criminal. He has to be, dude. He's got to have, like, a credit on, like, every place.
And when it does happen, it's not very interesting. I was almost never in space, and you cannot use your ship to explore worlds, which is just mind-boggling to me.
What? What? Oh my god.
Not use your ship to explore worlds, which is just mind-boggling to me.
You're there to land your ship. These planets have not all been explored, Mayo. Your ship is too big to be, like, hovering over the surface the whole time. I don't know if you ever played No Man's Sky, but that's not exactly an effective way to explore. But he still wanted I could see his wanted poster in my game and everyone else's. Dude, probably. Person Man Guy, what's up? Thanks for coming by. Dude, this is some next level IQ, like negative IQ. This is insanity.
In a game about exploring the galaxy and going to dozens of planets, you can only run around on foot. So the whole explore worlds aspect is really unsatisfying because the exploration process sucks.
Dude, not even in Mass Effect do you do that. Like, that's not how... He probably saw the scene in Star Wars where, like, Obi-Wan and Anakin are going after that assassin and goes, oh, well, I'm supposed to be able to fly a ship. Those were ships, dipshit.
There are no vehicles in Starfield. No cycles, no...
That is a fair criticism. I will give you that.
No hovercraft or small personal ships. I mean, don't you wish you could fly over the surface? Actually explore a planet?
Yes, but not on a giant 3 or 4 tiered ship.
I do. And then you could have air-to-surface artillery.
Oh, exactly, Person Man Guy. Oh, yeah. You. I don't know how long you've been here, man, but he tried comparing Starfield's RPG aspects to GTA. It is insane. No, he was probably too busy hating it, honestly.
Get into some base battles against militarized enemies with anti-air defenses. You could add a lot to this game. Instead, literally the only way to explore is to run. For miles, running out of oxygen over and over. I was hardly ever in my spaceship because you have fast travel that nullifies pretty much everything having to do with space travel.
Wait a minute, I just realized though. So if he's running around naked half the time, right? Okay, think about this. There are times where you have to put on a helmet. So do you think he would, like, land on a planet and start getting all these warnings and him not understand that?
And with the worlds being so tedious and boring to explore and the enemies...
Yeah, I agree. I don't really have a problem with the fast travel. Plus, like, for me, like, on an SSD, it only takes, like, 5 seconds at that. Like, it's really not that big of a deal, I don't think.
Being laughably stupid, I never felt any need to engage with the base building or crafting or upgrading my weapons.
That's because you weren't trying to play that type of game. That's there for people that want to immerse themselves, and that's not your MO. So that's just not going to be how you play it. I will agree that this game relies on fast travel a bit too much, but it doesn't bother me. Exactly. Like, I know it's a thing. It just doesn't really, like... It's not something that really, like, makes me upset about it, you know? On my S, it takes, like, 2 seconds. Yeah. Like, it really does not take that long to fast travel. So, like, for me, it doesn't bother me. Also, like, you don't have to fast travel everywhere. Like, if you guys saw that video where it took 7 hours to fly, if you really want to, you can. But I'm actually happy the fast travel exists, because in No Man's Sky, fast travel is not always an option.
Who cares? And after investing in a few of the many available skills, I was left looking at the menu thinking, I don't need any of this. And what's...
Yeah, that's a good question, person main guy. How does it run on the S? It seems like it must run okay.
really crap about the skill tree is how they lock off additional tiers of upgrades. You can upgrade your shotgun damage, great, but if you want to upgrade it again, you gotta kill 20 enemies with the shotgun. Okay, that's a bit of an excessive requirement, but...
No, it's not. Dude. God, this is terrible. Yeah, that 7-hour thing is very realistic. I agree. And, like, that's the thing, though. Like, they're absolutely going for some realism aspects to this game. But most of that comes in form of the waiting time. So the fast travel is there to offset that. Because it's like, okay, you could wait 7 hours, or you could wait 5 seconds. Nice, it runs great. That's awesome, dude. We'll agree the base building feels pointless, but maybe I'm wrong. Honestly, it depends on what you want, man, guys. So, like, for me, like, for example, if there's ever a specific material or thing that you want to mine for, you drop an outpost on, like, a big section of that on a planet that you like, and then you can have it just automatically, like, go up to your inventory. It actually works out really nicely if you have it set up right. You just have to kind of get that right setup, but it just depends on what you want. The challenges are there to prevent you from putting all your skill points under that and breaking the game. Exactly. It's very thought out. And I don't know if he realizes this, but there's no level cap. So, like, you could technically max out the whole tree and then keep, like, leveling up. Like, it's awesome.
But fine. It did encourage weapon combos more.
So it has a positive purpose. Yeah, it is actually really useful. It just depends on what you want. For me, like, not every planet I'm going to want to put an outpost on, but, like, if I come across, like, a big vein of, what was it, like, chlorine or titanium or something, then I very well might do that. I think so. I don't remember what it is, though. A level cap. I know Fallout 4 had unlimited, but I don't know what Skyrim's is.
Soften them up with a machine gun, run in for the shotgun kill. That's cool. It's fun. It's a smart way to play, and I like...
How is it fun if you don't like the combat?
Smart gameplay being encouraged. But I get the 20 kills, unlock the next level, and if I want to buy the next level, is it a new challenge that gets me to do something different and learn from? No, now it's kill 50 enemies with the shotgun.
Well, yeah, if you're going to keep putting points into your shotgun, you have to earn it.
Come on, seriously? And then it's 100? What's the point of these challenges?
To stop you, to get you to experiment. For it to be a background. You're not supposed to, like, that's the thing, man. This isn't a boomer shooter. You're not supposed to just focus on one challenge at a time. You're supposed to, like, experiment. I know, dude. Skyrim never ceases to amaze.
It's not a challenge anymore. It's a task. I've already done this. Oh, and by the way, these challenges do not count any of the previous times you've already done these things. Let's say I killed 20 enemies with the shotgun. Now I can buy the next upgrade tier. But I don't. I buy some other stuff first. But I'm still killing enemies with the shotgun. Now when I go to buy the next shotgun upgrade, it gives me the kill 50 enemies challenge. And it doesn't count any of the enemies I've already killed with the shotgun over the past 2 hours.
Well, no, because you didn't enable it. Everything he's saying is so trivial, I just don't understand.
What a load of shit. I really wanted to increase my oxygen capacity, but the challenge is to completely run out of oxygen 20 times.
He really doesn't.
Running around in the desert or in circles, using up my oxygen over and over to unlock the next tier. What am I learning from this? And then I gotta run out of oxygen 50 more times to get the next upgrade? How is that a challenge? Oh, I know, it's a challenge because sometimes it bugs out and doesn't register when you run out of oxygen, so you gotta do it even more times.
Why would you keep running if your CO2 meter is like all that way up?
It was definitely a challenge not to lose my fucking mind.
Oh, that's funny. That's how I feel about this video. God damn, man. If you guys are cool, I am going to take a quick break just to go grab a drink. I am thirsty, and mayo is honestly driving me crazy. So I'm going to take a quick drink break. We'll go grab one, and then I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Yeah, you guys are so right.
Oh, God, this is becoming too much. And when I start getting irritated like this, I start getting angry about little inconveniences.
Do you think... dumb question. Do you think Under the Mayo is a Karen? Like, does he go into real life experiences getting this angry about stuff? Kind of feels like maybe.
Nitpicks to some of you, pet peeves to me. Of course, there's no FOV slider. We've only been making games for 50 years, guys. I guess we need a little more time to make FOV sliders industry standard. Loot drops are randomized, so if...
by the way, they are fixing the FOV slider. They will be adding that in. That's not really something Bethesda has a lot of the times, though. You kind of have to mod that in.
If you come across some incredibly awesome gun and then die right after without quick saving, you'll be running all the way back to this area to see that it's gone forever.
Person man guy, I would have to agree. It very well could be both, but it's definitely one or the other.
I don't think there's a single cutscene in the game. It's all either static characters staring at you or free camera while characters around you talk and you stand around waiting. Which,
dude, we've already established this game isn't like a GTA. You're not going to get a cutscene because it's all in-game.
Which I find incredibly immersion breaking, because instead of watching a well-directed cutscene where the camera can dramatically frame the speaking characters and guide the emotion of the moment, we get a flat video game camera and first-person perspective that absolutely kills any drama the scene may have established.
Oh, man.
And allows us...
I agree, he is such a dude bro gamer. It's like... He's literally describing a Call of Duty or a GTA. Just go play that.
To destroy all of the immersion, because while everyone's attending one of the characters' funeral, I can run circles around the room and then teabag on the table and no one says a word.
Wow. I cannot believe...
I feel like I've made this point before. Oh, right. Ugh. And I'm frequently irked by how you can't reload.
No, he's actually, so get this, he's never played a Bethesda game. He's judging all this without ever having played a Bethesda game.
While sprinting. You start reloading your gun, and near the end of the animation, you sprint, and it cancels the whole thing, and you gotta reload again. I absolutely hate that mechanic in game.
Oh yeah, that is true. It is Obsidian, but no, he has never played a Fallout game before, to my knowledge.
Unless it's a hardcore military sim or something like that. Because the only defense for this crap, and I'm sure plenty of you are thinking it right now, is it's more realistic that way. As if that were a good reason in a video game. Oh, it's realism you want? It's better if it's realistic? Then why am I able to heal while reloading? I'm using both of my hands to reload. How am I also using a healing item? That's not realistic. Maybe we should take that out. How are you looting corpses while reloading? Oh, and spaceships are just able to repair themselves from battle damage in a matter of seconds by just pressing a button? Yeah, take your realism and shove it. You don't actually care about realism. You just use it as a defense of annoying game design when it suits you. I don't want to...
Come on, dude. Yeah, exactly. It's a video game. You have to suspend... What does this guy think? You have to suspend your sense of realism to some extent. Like, it's not gonna be realistic all the time.
Harp on...
He probably does want to land on Cash Jimmy.
Bugs too much because the ones I came across were mostly superficial and just kind of funny. Whoa, what's going on? Calm down, girl. But there's some terrible, terrible shit going on when you load new areas. Whenever you load into a new zone, including going through doors, there's this long fade in from black, and you cannot move or do anything until the image fully appears.
Did he just describe a loading screen? Did he just describe a loading screen? What has this man played? Did he... Listen to this. Listen. Oh my god.
Including going through doors, there's this long fade in from black, and you cannot move or do anything until the image fully appears. And if you press any button during this time, or come in with a button already being held, the input is dropped. So...
Yes! Because it's a loading screen. What? Oh. Come on. Mayo. Come on. Look. Man. Okay. I get it. You never played an RPG before. You cannot be this dumb. Like, you actually cannot be this dumb. I'm sorry if I'm getting loud in the mic. You cannot be this dumb. Like, actually. What? Oh my god. I agree. It is the most polished Bethesda game. By far, in fact. Doom and Elden Ring. Oh, that's nothing, TPG. He showed Dark Souls footage when he was comparing Elden Ring earlier. He's giving me AIDS. Yeah. Does he not understand how moving to other... No. This man does not understand a loading screen. That's how... What does he play? It is literally... Like, okay, maybe not Pong, but just about damn near every game after that.
So the image starts fading in, and you press forward in anticipation, and when it's time to move, your character just stands there. You have to wait out the entire fade before you can press a button.
Well, yeah, because what happens if you accidentally, like, shot somebody? Like an NPC or something? What if your intention was not to shoot an NPC? That's why it cancels out the movement.
It blows my mind that this game could be in development for 7 years and something like this exists. It's the most basic shit in the world. Don't lock me in place after I open a door, and don't drop my anticipatory inputs while you're fading in.
But it's okay. I'd rather have it there than not be. OGM game me, please. Dude, honestly. I just want my whole map rendered in game running at 15 FPS, no loading screen. That's some skill issue shit, honestly. Will you cover former Blizzard employee Grum's absurd take on Starfield? We could. I could take a look at it. I was just thinking about how comfortable it would be to play Starfield in your bed. I love playing Skyrim in my bed on my Switch. Dude, kinda can on Steam Deck. I tried playing it last night on my Steam Deck. First time, and it's not as bad as I thought it would be. It's not great. I would way rather play it on a PC, but it feels maybe a step underneath the Xbox, or maybe about Xbox level. So, it does run on Steam Deck, and I think it said it would give me about an hour and a half. So, I'm gonna need charge, but yeah, it runs.
This has the potential to cause massive problems in combat. I was in a fight and I went through a door by accident. I had to go back and clear the fight, but loading into the room didn't allow me to move, but the enemies were allowed to shoot me, causing me to die over and over because
my man is such a skill issue that he went through a door in the middle of combat. Aw, damn. Sorry, Alistair. I've been there, man, though. I totally understand. And phone. Yeah, dude, honestly. Yeah, you could play it on the phone, too. I didn't think about that. Really want MK1, but I'm broke. Oh, I hear that, man. I really want to get it. I'm probably going to wait until... I'm thinking maybe when... oh, dude, I feel you. I am also the definition of broke. Diabetes ain't cheap, I'll tell you that. I'm thinking what I'll do with MK1 is probably get it when Homelander and Omni-Man drop. Hopefully there will be a sale around that time. There's still a few games that are higher profile that I'd rather pick up first, but I do want to play it for sure.
The game reloaded here at the door. Just a loop of getting shot in the face while unable to move. This is fucking fantastic.
You are the definition of a skill issue. Yeah, dude, frick diabetes, actually. Thankfully, I mean, I don't have it, but I'm very supportive of my wife trying to help her with it. So, like I said, any kind of super chats or tips or anything like that, they all go to insulin.
I am amazed that I stuck with Starfield as long as I did.
That makes two of us, actually.
Between the main quest and the side missions, I made it 21 hours. But that's really a testament to my attraction to the sci-fi genre, that I can play a much better game like Dark Souls and want to kill myself because I don't care about fantasy worlds, and then I play crap like Starfield for 20.
Thanks, Webbs. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, we're handling it one step at a time. The nice thing is I grew up with most of my family being diabetic, so I have a pretty good sense for like what to do with it and all that. It's only just really scary, like, you know, when it's really high, really low, or all that. But either way, I appreciate it, man. Watch your language, mister. Yeah, dude. Watch it, man. Thin ice, Webs.
21 hours just because I'm generally amused by seeing different planets and jumping between solar systems and shooting assault rifles at idiot soldiers.
She is very tough. For sure, CPG.
It's sad, right? Yeah, I know. Near the end of my run, I was getting so bored with the main...
Dude, what the... You are showing some things you should not be showing.
...quest that I tried taking on some more side quests. Him to give me the money, and I flew back. I got 5,000 credits. That was the whole mission. So I really...
Oh, yeah, Alistair, his reasoning for that is because he was so bored, he had to think of a way to entertain himself, so he took off his clothes and just started running around in his underwear. That is actually something that Mayo did. Yeah, exactly. No, the funny thing is we all thought it was a joke until he actually made it an apparent thing. Like, that is actually why he did it.
Reloaded the autosave and thought that maybe if I don't talk to him and
big incel vibes.
Instead fight him, it'll be more interesting. Nope, he just died immediately. I can't do this anymore. I tried to push on further, and I reached a point where I just said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. It's been 3 days. I don't think I've actually loved anything about this. I'm done. I don't care what's next. I
explored so much of that this planet was raining acid. And the guy can get the money exports. Dude, honestly. By the way, a slight spoiler, just to be clear. I'm not going to tell you anything big about story events. But this mission he's in right now, do you guys remember that awesome mission from Titanfall 2 where you're switching back and forth between planes of existence? Or between timelines, I should say. There is a part like that in Starfield. And it is so damn cool. Just wanted to point that out. It's like, it also reminds me of that Slab in the Crack mission from Dishonored 2. It's fantastic. If you guys have not done it, it's so cool. It is. It's actually in this mission he's in now.
I don't care if I'm 5 minutes away from the greatest mission ever designed. I'm ready to stop. Okay, I hate to judge, aside from the poor design choices
Oh, also,
and...
don't know if you realize, but that red door over there, there's a ton of doors like that in Starfield, and you can actually use the mining cutter to cut them down and make yourself a new entrance. That, like, I found that out kind of late in the game, and I was, like, blown away. So there's so many ways you can go about stuff.
bugs and...
I agree, TPG. It makes me fear dice as well.
Bad AI and dry dialogue. I know there are people who love these kinds of open-world RPGs. They like walking around and looking at the world. They're entertained by being able to buy a living space and decorate it. I understand that part of the appeal, even if I don't care about it myself. But there's a good way and a bad way of doing things. Even if the genre isn't my thing, I'm still trying to look at stuff and think about whether my issues with it are a matter of personal taste, or if some of this is straight up badly made.
Okay, now chat. To me, barely any of the points he has made, there's been maybe one or two that have actually been objective good criticisms. Everything has just been nitpicking. I could be wrong, but none of this seems objective to me. They have this thing called good taste. Yeah, exactly.
And I think a lot of Starfield is horribly flawed. I think it could be doing what it wants to do way better than it does. I'm not trying to make Starfield into a different game, I just think it's far from the game it wants to be.
But it would be a totally different game if people listened to you.
Just because it's an open-world RPG doesn't mean the AI has to suck. It doesn't mean every conversation has to be so one-sided and painfully dull. It doesn't mean your character has to be lacking a real personality. It doesn't mean so many of the missions have to be fly across the galaxy and pick up this one thing and bring it back. It doesn't mean the cities have to have circles of people standing around just staring at each other.
That is not the point of an NPC, by the way. Hot take, Cyberpunk 2077 is better than Starfield. No, I 100% agree. Cyberpunk 2077, for those of you who don't know, is my favorite game of all time. So I'm in agreement with that. I don't think that's a hot take. But I like Starfield a lot, though. I don't know where it ranks for me like right now, but I absolutely intend on playing more for what that's worth. But yeah, no, I adore Cyberpunk. When I got over what I realized it was people said it was, and I realized it's just a very big immersive sim, I got really into it. Yes, Doom Eternal used to be my favorite game until I finally finished Cyberpunk this year, and Cyberpunk has overtaken it officially. But I am so happy you remembered, though, Person Man Guy. I do appreciate you remembering that. So, like, for me, it's like Cyberpunk, Doom Eternal. Those two are, like, near the top. I don't really know what would be after that, honestly. I like the setting more. I mean, Blade Runner is my favorite movie of all time. So Cyberpunk in general appeals to me just on a broad, like anything Cyberpunk in general. But yeah, Doom Eternal is, I think objectively Doom Eternal is a better game than Cyberpunk, but personally Cyberpunk is my favorite. Yes, I will absolutely be playing the 2.0 update. I have the DLC as well, so that should be coming in soon. I'm very much looking forward to that.
It doesn't mean the skill tree challenges have to be tedious and uninteresting. It doesn't have to...
For me, my top 3 is Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, and Skyrim. All very good choices. Breath of the Wild, I can't really speak on Tears of the Kingdom because realistically I haven't put in enough time to really judge it or give you a idea of what I think. But Breath of the Wild, I adore. I think Breath of the Wild is great. And Skyrim as well. Mario 64, DS, Skyrim, and Minecraft. I appreciate the Mario 64 DS, actually, a lot. I objectively think that's a better version of Mario 64. At least with the extra content and the graphics and everything, I think it's awesome. I do like my open world Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Open world fantasy is so good. But yeah, no, that's a very base take to have 64 DS as your main pick for 64. I actually think they should just remaster that instead of re-put out 64 the same every time, but that's just me.
Be this way. And I don't think you can just dismiss all my criticisms as me just not understanding RPGs.
But it's really hard to not come at it from that perspective when everything you complained about is literally that, though.
This stuff could be and should be much better. I would at least be able to play the game and be entertained by the quality of the product. Instead, I'm left trying to play a type of game I normally don't enjoy simply because I like the sci-fi setting. And there's all these poor design decisions making the experience so much worse.
TPG, Baldur's Gate 3 is already on your top favorite? Damn. I'm really enjoying Baldur's Gate 3. It's fantastic. I haven't beat it yet, so I don't know, like, story-wise where everything goes. But, yeah. Not bad. You got 2 for 3. So, you know, good job. I have to heckle you about The Last of Us 2. But, yeah, good choices.
Worse. Sure, if you fixed a lot of the stuff I have issues with, it would still not be a game I'm crazy about. It would still be entirely too focused on talking to NPCs and skill trees and all the features of the genre, but I would at least respect it a hell of a lot more. I am not an open world fan. I'm not a fan of Ghost of Tsushima or Elden Ring or The Witcher 3. But I respect those games because I think they're well made, even if they don't resonate with me. But Starfield? No, man, I don't think this is any more than mediocre. Only impressive in its central premise of going around the galaxy in a spaceship. If you love Starfield, cool. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Nothing against you. I shouldn't have to say that, but some people are babies and think that criticizing a game is somehow also insulting the people who like it. No.
That's ironic. RE7 and Battlefront 2. Ooh, those are good picks. Got to Act 3 and play through. Started a new one as a trans Dragonborn. Nice. Swap God of War with Witcher 3 depending on my day. That's fair. Witcher 3 is fantastic. So I can't go down on you with that. Yeah. No, you're totally good.
It doesn't work that way. So please be cool. Thanks. Like and subscribe. Share the video. It's almost time for Mortal Kombat!
Dude, why would I want to watch you play a game I like after you just dunked on a whole genre that I like for being the genre? That is cringy as hell. God, that was so bad. This is great. I'm curious what the comments say. I don't take anything he says seriously, honestly. Makes me so sad to see how good Bethesda games could actually be. If you already don't like a Bethesda game, you're not, like, Starfield's not going to change your mind, I don't think, you know? Seemed I missed some Gaia with Mayo. Oh, you sure did, Shadow. I appreciate you stopping by, though. Thank you for coming by. Yeah, it is. He said some of the stupidest things I've ever heard Mayo say, and that's not hyperbole. Yeah, this is a bad one for sure. Let's take a look. Hours in Starfield, I have 36.7. So comparing that to Mayo, I've got about 16 hours over Mayo in Starfield. As well as having beat the main quest and then also doing some very cool side quests. Yeah, I love Starfield. I think it's super fun. I can understand why people would have certain issues with it, but overall, I think it's great. I wonder what he would think of Armored Core. I don't really want to watch another Mayo tonight, but that'd be an interesting one. Mr. Gamer, you said got this tweet. Let's take a look. Okay. So this is that what did you call it? You said the ex Blizzard employee, I think. So the physiognomy? Okay, I don't actually know what that word means. Let's look this up real quick. I have no idea. I've never heard that word before. A person's facial features or expression, especially when regarded as indicative of character or ethnic origin. Okay. So the supposed art of judging character from facial characteristics. General form or appearance. Okay. So the start screen of a game can reveal a lot about how rushed the team was and how much pride they took in their work. Starfield starts either show hasty shipping deadline by a passionate team overworked or a team that didn't care. What? Dude, it's just the freaking start screen. Start screens are often done at the very end of development. Well, yeah, because it's just a menu, dude. It's not... God damn, man. Oh, God. Yeah, he's. I actually have Dreamcast guys on the docket, so I was actually going to go into that for us. Dude, I agree. I can't stand Dreamcast guy. It's the way he talks for me. I totally get it. You know, I'm not trying to be mean to him, but there's something about the way he says things that really, like, they get under my skin, and I don't like that. Can God just wipe us out, please? Man, I've asked him too many times, but he still hasn't gotten back with me. This is really, really stupid. Skyrim is literally just a black screen, but people love it. So, like, by that logic, what am I supposed to take with this? Good, yeah, everybody should be crapping on him for that. That's so stupid. It's like, I've never heard anybody say something... Okay, shouldn't say ever. The way he talks and how fake he is. Yeah, the grift is what gets me. Because I know half of what he's saying he doesn't actually believe, and that really bothers me. Because I'm a very honest person, so I don't like it when other people try to fake it like that. Needs you to answer. God. Rice needs you to answer his calls. Dude, yeah, God's been ghosting me for a long time. Okay, so what do we want next? I was going to do kind of just a quick skim through his, because I don't know how much of Dreamcast guy I can actually listen to tonight. I also have a Harmon Smith as well. But Harmon, can we just appreciate how greasy this man's hair is? You can see the slick back. Like, that is just not clean, dude. You sure did see Harmon. He does. He does sound like he's better than everybody, and I just don't vibe with that. I'm a very laid-back person, so when people try to come at you like, oh, I actually know everything, like, I don't do that. Gee, my wife's son is an ugly as sin. Bro, your son is on some different stuff today. He's retarded. Dude, it's bad. Like, this is really bad. Like, my God. And the no shower is what gets me. Either he used too much gel or he hasn't showered in months. I'm thinking it's got to be the latter. You know what? Let's just hear what he has to say. I'm curious.
I really need to start getting a jar where every time I make a prediction about some AAA game or some Xbox exclusive or some PlayStation release or some PC port, every time I say something about one of those games, I'll put a penny in the jar, right?
I don't even want to know where you get those pennies, because there's definitely no way they're coming from your couch.
Do that, I'll be a millionaire within like 5 weeks, okay? Like, it is crazy. It is crazy seeing how accurately I can predict the future when it comes to these video game releases. Like,
Harmon has got to be terminally online, man. It's crazy.
Everything is a failure. Forspoken, Final Fantasy 16, Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4.
Why does he call it Diablo? Dude.
Like, all of it has just collapsed in among itself for one reason or another, right?
I mean, you just listed, like, the games that people are playing and revering the entire time, so I don't really know what you're saying.
And Starfield, I think, is a really interesting case because this is an example, I think, of a company's last stand, right? This is Bethesda trying to convince us, trying to prove that they still got it, that they can come out here and make an open universe game, a game that's bigger, better than Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, right?
I like the idea that he thinks Starfield... They literally said Starfield has been in, like, their small development team for, like, 25 years. But, of course, yeah, it's to go after Breath of the Wild, a game that wouldn't come out or even be a thought for years to come. Yeah, specifically for that.
This was their moment to shine. This was their major release of the decade. This was supposed to be a big juggernaut thing, and it's come out to absolute crickets, right? Like, right...
Yeah, looks like crickets to me. 30 million Game Pass subscribers, 6 million players compared to other Xbox games. And I guess they're talking about just Xbox. 190,000 people playing it right now. With the all-time peak of 330,000. Yeah, sounds like crickets to me, man. I don't know. I guess I just don't know how to tell successes anymore.
Now, I'm seeing a bunch of people in my comment section who I'm sure are shills.
I would absolutely debate Harmon. I would love to debate Harmon.
Right? Coming in and trying to say, oh, I actually really like the game. It gets really good, like 30 hours in. Like, making all these excuses for it, saying that, like, oh, you just don't understand how intricate the game is. You know, all those messy mechanics that you don't understand, that don't make any sense, and are just poorly implemented. Like, spend 30 hours with them, and you'll suddenly realize that this is an organic, living universe.
Bro, what is going on with it?
Spend 30 hours
Look at
with
this.
them, and you'll suddenly realize that this is an organic, living universe.
His camera literally...
Right? The greatest open universe game ever made. Right now, it seems like the shills are trying to get people to stop refunding the game, because I have seen quite a few people like publicly announce they're refunding the game due to like crashes, due to bugs, due to wokeness. Like, there are all sorts of reasons to like not support Starfield, right? But when it comes down to, and I do think like this is the core of the issue when it comes to like all these releases. You know, Armored
I agree.
Core
I'm
6,
enjoying
Final
without the
Fantasy
dips.
16, Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6, Forspoken, Hi-Fi
Glad to see
Rush,
it's
like
stabilizing,
everything that's
though.
come out this year, is that no matter what the game is, no matter what publisher, no matter what genre, no matter what platform it releases on, no matter how popular it is, no matter how many units it sells, no matter how much money it makes, it cannot be as good as the average Nintendo release.
I don't know, man. Especially if we're talking like old Wii U stuff, that was the average, and Wii U sucked. So I don't know about that. The Wii U had a few gems, but like the average Wii U release sucked. So I don't know about that.
Tears of the Kingdom, in a lot of ways, is not the next generation Zelda, and as a result of that, we have no idea really how
They really are all the same. You could copy and paste like any of
Zelda
his.
is going to be in the foreseeable future. When we see,
You know, I just realized he's got a curtain here. So is this a window? Is that his only outside light? I really wish I could get a tour of Harmon's like setup, you know? Super Mario Galaxy though. Oh, so here's the thing. I think the Wii had some great games. I just meant the Wii U. I like Super Mario Galaxy a lot.
like Nintendo finally unveiled the next Zelda game, which at this point nobody is talking about because nobody is expecting to see it all that soon. But like when we get the next Zelda game, when we see just how far,
Yeah, he kind of like, doesn't Trump do that? Like where sometimes like when he's talking, he shuts one eye a little bit more. Or no, I'm thinking of Popeye. God, never mind.
Nintendo has gone with.
Oh yeah, you're good, Webs.
Like,
I know what you
their
meant though.
creativity
Mario Galaxy's
off the
great.
wall and, like, innovating on the open world genre, like whether it's like crazy far out environments or new mechanics or what I expect to see like a lot more physical abilities for Link.
He does do the Trump hand a lot. Yeah. He gets a lot of his mannerisms from Trump, I've noticed.
Him like the most OP character in an open world game in existence. Like what I expect to see is just more and more dominance from the Nintendo camp. And unlike something like Fallout 4 or Fallout 76 or Starfield, people are going to keep playing these games, right? I'm shocked at how much time I've put into Breath of the Wild after Tears of the Kingdom came out. I'm shocked how much I've played Tears of the Kingdom after finishing it. I'm shocked at how much.
I'm not. You're a Nintendo shill, dude. Look at your back wall over here. You have like an anime Metroid poster. I'm not shocked. Never thought I would hear someone compare Harmon Smith to Donald Trump before. Dude, I don't know why. I don't know if maybe because he made a Donald Trump video one time, but like he just reminds me of Donald Trump a lot. Like a very greasy incel version, obviously. Like I don't like Trump, but like I will at least give Trump one thing. At least he's better groomed than this dumb.
Much I've been going back and playing games like Ocarina of Time, Oracle of Ages, Minish Cap, like older Zelda games, right? I want to go back and play Twilight Princess. I would have if if I wasn't too lazy to set up my Wii U. Like
that's interesting. Harmon took down the Wii U. Oh, that's interesting, Harmon. Dude, this is upsetting. Harmon almost has about as many subs as I do. Oh, that's a terrifying thought.
It is incredible to me how much time and energy I spend like playing and enjoying these games because of how much I love them, how much I enjoy them, and I think like it's not just me, right? Like the reason these games are so appealing to me as a person is because they're such well-made, well-crafted experiences. I'm beginning to realize more and more that like no, I wasn't weird for liking this growing up.
That's a massive cap, dude.
I wasn't some nerd, like
I can't wait. I gotta get another clip of that.
Like no, I wasn't weird for liking this growing up. I wasn't some nerd. Like I was someone who.
I wasn't some nerd, says the guy with a wall of Nintendo posters. Like, dude, I'm all for game art, whatever. I don't care. But like, your place looks like it's caving in on itself, and instead of like cleaning anything up, you're over here like, no, I'm not a nerd. Like, okay. I sold mine for the S so I could play Jedi Survivor. Hey, that's nothing wrong there, man. I don't blame you. Yeah, the Metroid Prime trilogy. I mean, on the bright side, though, you could. The Series S, if I'm not mistaken, is pretty easy to get some emulation running. So you could probably get the Metroid Prime trilogy to work.
Understood the value and appreciated the artistry of what the developers made with Wind Waker, with Twilight Princess, with Skyward Sword, with Spirit Tracks, with A Link Between Worlds. Like even before the Renaissance with Breath of the Wild, I was singing the praises of The Legend of Zelda and still maintained that it was the greatest video game franchise in the world.
But dude, like that's the thing though, okay? Why are you even talking about Zelda? Nobody said anything about Zelda, I'm glad I got Starfield on Game Pass, no refund required, but eventually we'll have to get it on Steam for mods and stuff. Yeah, I agree. I actually don't regret my purchase. I was going to play the 2 hours and then possibly do the refund, but honestly, I just kept playing it so much that I was like, yeah, I'm not even going to consider refunding. Yeah, just $20 a small price pay for play up to the PS2 and Wii. Dude, honestly, yeah, like it's really cool how much you can do on the Xbox if you like mod it and stuff.
With people crying about how Dark Souls was going to eclipse it, how how Skyrim was going to eclipse it, how like Nintendo was old and outdated and would soon go out of business.
I mean, okay, let's be honest here though for a second, okay? We talk about Zelda games. Don't include Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. Is there any Zelda game realistically that is better than like a Skyrim or like an open world RPG, like the really revered ones? I think they're great. I think they're great games. One could argue Ocarina. I would say maybe Majora's Mask. That's a personal favorite of mine. But outside of that, and then the new Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I don't know that I would really say. I don't know what I would say any Zelda game is really better. Like, I would not go and play Link to the Past over Skyrim. It's just that's just not. That's not the way I would do it.
Right? Like, I was told that all through.
Watching Harmon is like yelling at a wall and nothing is set of value and is pointless. Yeah, that sums up Harmon in a nutshell, honestly.
Like, all throughout my childhood, right? And so, like, kind of seeing, like, Nintendo dominate the industry, stomping, like, major corporations like Disney into the dirt, seeing...
Bro, what does Disney have to do with it? They're not even on the same playing field.
Seeing Microsoft and Sony scramble to stay relevant, seeing companies like Bethesda, who a decade ago were weaponized against Nintendo, kind of fall flat on their face when it comes to their next big release. You know, like, after a string of, like, major failures, like The Evil Within, and...
Hey guys, I do have to go take the pups out real quick because the pups are getting a little anxious. So if you're cool with it, I am going to just let you watch Harmon as I go take them out real quick, okay?
And like a number of other titles, right? Like there is nothing about Bethesda that's worth of your respect at this point. Like their ancient claim to fame, you know, something they did back in the 90s, you know, being the creators of Daggerfall and the biggest game ever, like it's not a big deal anymore, right? Anyone who like looks back in Daggerfall on some like as some like major milestone in gaming are just nostalgic fanboys. You know, people like Razorfist, people like Ricada. Like there have been so many better open world games from Nintendo over the past several decades that it is almost embarrassing seeing people cling on to Daggerfall's success as like some kind of cultural milestone when like nobody even knows what it is, right? Right? Like I'm not even sure if Daggerfall is even available on modern platforms. I know Morrowind is. I own it, but like you know, I tried to play Morrowind, don't like it. Tried to play Oblivion, don't like it. Tried to play Skyrim, don't like it. Like there is no value to these games for me because I actually have better games I could be playing instead. And that is the long and short of it. That is the issue with Starfield. Like even if the game was good, even if it was fully functional, even if it was like engaging, had like unique aspects to it, like had some merit, which it doesn't. Like even if it was a good, legitimately well-made game, it still 100% never could compete with Zelda or what Nintendo is doing, right? Like, it is going to get stomped into the dirt by Tears of the Kingdom. It is going to get stomped in the dirt by Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It is going to get stomped in the dirt by Pokemon and just, you know, continue to get stomped by, like, Animal Crossing and stuff like that. Like, it won't be all that much longer until we start seeing, like, games like Animal Crossing outperforming, like, GTA releases, right? We're reaching that point where a number of Nintendo franchises are becoming like regular 20 million sellers, right? Like it's remarkable, like going into this, like it's weird thinking how earlier in the year we legit were speculating that like, oh, how much is Tears of the Kingdom going to sell? Like 5 million units. I could not have anticipated that it would have sold 20 million, you know, like 4 times more than my highest estimate. It within like the first month, right? Like I greatly underestimated like the success and popularity of Tears of the Kingdom, and the reason for that was because so many people on the internet like are so adamant that Tears of the Kingdom is not a good game, that that Zelda is not a good game, that Breath of the Wild was a fluke, that like nobody would be interested in playing a direct sequel, that like in a way they kind of gaslit me. Like I knew the game would be successful to a certain extent, but I expected it would sell significantly less than Breath of the Wild. And seeing it like soar past Elden Ring, seeing it soar past Cyberpunk 2077, seeing it soar past all this crap that was forced on us over the past couple of years has been like a really vindicating experience, right? Right, there are still like some big major milestones we still have to overcome, like namely Take Two, the creators of Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto. I think those are like really the only major obstacle Nintendo has to dominating the console space, and those releases are so sparse and so infrequent that I think it is only a matter of time until like Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead just collapse and Nintendo just kind of takes their market share. Like you can't just rely on like one or two franchises to carry you through a console generation. And increasingly, that's what we're seeing from all these studios, right? Like we're seeing CD Projekt Red release Cyberpunk 2077 in 2020 and then spend like the over 5 years, right, trying to fix the game, trying to get the patches out, trying to do this, trying to do that. Like they're never going to fix Cyberpunk 2077, but what's worse is that they're also never going to produce another game, right? And I don't think Bethesda is nearly in like as poor of a position as CD Projekt Red is right now. Like at least they have like a healthy portfolio and they don't have to like rely on Witcher money, and they don't have to like, CD Projekt Red was always like heavily AstroTurf, promoted to the top because of like BioWare suddenly like collapse when they couldn't handle it. They didn't have the talent to like maintain the illusion that they were some like hardcore AAA like open world RPG developer, right? Like the instant that like they had to compete against like real games like Zelda, like Xenoblade, they just completely collapsed, right? And we are seeing that more and more often with all these studios. Like they just cannot compete with Nintendo. And I think more and more people are going to see that these new releases just aren't all that appealing. Like even now, like in the height of like the Starfield hype cycle, I'm thinking to myself, like looking at this gameplay footage, wandering around these empty wastelands, seeing these randomly placed locations on a map, seeing like the boring caves and like the locations and like the gunplay and like the enemy, like the lack of enemy variety and like just the terrible, ugly character models and just like the woke aspects. Like there's so many aspects of Starfield that are just laughably bad in like a post Breath of the Wild world, right? And nobody wants to admit it, but like this game just is not like meeting expectations. And I think there are a handful of people who are like being brave about this and coming out and being honest that like.
Hello, I'm back. I don't know what in the world I missed, but I'm assuming he said some very stupid things.
Yeah, Xbox just can't compete with Nintendo anymore. They're done. But like.
I don't think Harmon has anything else of value to say. I would assume not anyway. If you guys are cool, should we all switch to Dreamcast guy? Oh, that does not shock me. He probably, like, Breath of the Wild probably, like, that's probably why he looks like he hasn't showered in so long, because he probably hasn't since Breath of the Wild released. He probably was out there midnight launch, waiting for a Switch, got Breath of the Wild, and this hasn't changed since. Why don't we go to Dreamcast Guy? Now, Dreamcast Guy, I don't remember if he gave this a fair review or not, so let's just kind of listen. God, just look at that smug face. Already on it.
What's up, gamers? Dreamcast Guy here.
I will give Dreamcast Guy one thing. His audio is probably the best I've heard so far from everybody. Which, that's ironic considering how much I hate listening to him talk. Oh, dude. I could not imagine. I could not imagine Harmon with any of his stuff. Because he looks like somebody who's just got Cheeto dust on everything.
Talking today about Starfield because I have now beaten the game. And it's kind of surprising to me. But this project has become one of the most controversial games of the year.
How? See, here's the thing I don't understand. What did it do that was controversial? Because it really didn't. Right? Like, I mean, it's not really controversial. It didn't do anything. It's just a Bethesda game, man. Also, by the way, would it kill Dreamcast Guy or Harmon to just breathe through their nose? Like, I think that's why they talk that way, is because they don't breathe through their nose. Of course, the game with the most annoying voice is the clearest mic. Exactly. That's the funniest part about it, man. It's so ironic. They just need to breathe through their nose, though. I think that's honestly the problem.
It's not that it's full of crazy bad jokes or explosive glitches. The game is just controversial because it feels like the internet cannot decide if this is the best game ever or a complete dumpster fire.
But like, who's got that narrative though? Controversial, exactly. What's up, gamers? Dreamcast guy here. It's just like, dude, it's really not that controversial though.
Well, now I've finished it. I beat
Golden Bucket. What's up? We are just watching some terrible some Starfield takes. So, boy, there's some big ones. I'm really curious though to hear what he says. I think he rates it like a 7 out of 10. So like on the scale, that's about fair. But
beat the main story. I've messed with ship customization. I've gotten in hundreds of fights. I've done a lot of side quests, and I want to discuss some thoughts because, to be quite honest.
Oh, the other thing I don't understand is why this. You know when you wake up in the morning, right? And you have to like go wipe your mouth out because you have like some of that like drool that kind of sat there from the night before. Why can I see that? Man, I don't know what it is with these guys. Why they can't just like take care of themselves, you know? Like all people are asking you to do is just be clean. You know, maybe that's just the inner germaphobe in me, but like it's not that hard. He's probably the reason the Dreamcast failed. Yeah, I mean, Dreamcast has some interesting stuff on it. One of these days, I need to actually like look into emulation.
I think I'm done playing it.
Hold on, this. What did he say here?
I've gotten in hundreds of fights. I've done a lot of side quests, and I want to discuss some thoughts because, to be quite honest, I think I'm done playing it.
Look at this face of disgust, man.
Let's dig into it. Hope you're having a great day. If you could be very negative sounding, and part of them are going to be very positive, because to be really upfront, my feelings are mixed. I don't love this game. I don't think it's really as big and spectacular as I really kind of hoped. I'm a classic Bethesda fan.
Classic Bethesda fan. But like when you say classic, what are you saying? Like Oblivion, Skyrim? Like what? You need to maybe clarify.
I grew up playing Morrowind and Fallout, and I mean.
Well, Fallout 3 is Bethesda, but Fallout 1 and 2 are not Bethesda.
At this point, I've been professionally reviewing games for an entire decade.
That's a terrifying thought.
Which means not only have I played a lot of Bethesda games, I have reviewed Skyrim 3 separate times. Todd Howard, stop releasing that game because I'm just going to keep reviewing it.
So you're the reason it keeps getting put back out.
So going into Starfield, my expectations were high, but additionally...
Dude, what is it with these guys showing so many spoilers on Starfield?
I really didn't like the marketing for this game.
What does that have to do with the review of the game, though? Like, I don't understand why the marketing is coming into place for a review about the game.
A lot of the trailers, the early gameplay stuff just definitely didn't grab me. But now that I've had a chance to beat it, I can definitely say this is one of those styles of experience that's about you holding the controller. It doesn't look great. It's not a particularly flashy game, but man, when it's fun, it is incredibly freaking fun.
Yeah, dude, that's a Bethesda game. Like, that's the thing I don't understand. Everybody, like, thinks Bethesda game is, like, some kind of, like, diss on Bethesda, but it's, like, that's why people like it in the first place. That's why it's fun.
I think the major part that's stirring up a lot of the controversy...
Wait, does that mean DCG played an Xbox BC Morrowind came out on the... Dude, yeah, probably. Most likely. He probably played it on the original Xbox, yeah.
For Starfield is that the first 10 hours of it is just so incredibly flat.
You know what? I've heard a couple people say that now, that the first few hours of this game are very boring. I really disagree. Like, from the get-go, it's very cinematic, actually. Like, the first hour or two is extremely, like, you know, gets you moving quick. You get into a combat in the first, like, 20 minutes. And then you get to, like, pilot the ship within the first 30. So, like, I still wish your boss would say you're finally awake. Exactly. Like, I don't know. This game, compared to other Bethesda games I've played, this gets you going, like, immediately. I think Skyrim had a slower opening, honestly. But yeah, and then the other thing, too, I don't understand is when people say, like, it's got a very slow beginning. It's like, only if you go and explore planets before you understand how everything works. If you're following quest lines, it's really not, you know? Yeah, exactly. The beginning is pretty fast. That's why I liked it so much when David Jaffe the other day had somebody come on and, like, he started testing them to see if they had played it, and he's like, well, what'd you think when they burned all those bodies at the beginning? He goes, oh, yeah, man, that was weird. And he's like, yeah, that didn't happen. It's like, I think some of these people haven't actually played it. Like, I mean, I know Dreamcast guy did, but, like, I don't know. It's just weird.
This has one of the worst openings of any game I've ever experienced.
That's really harsh. I disagree with that big time. Like, I've played games, like, perfect example, man. Are you going to tell me that Assassin's Creed 3 had a better opening than this? 7 hours, man. 7 hours is how long the beginning part of Assassin's Creed 3 is. But you're going to tell me Starfield is the worst. Frick Zodiac Science, which side of the war did you side with, Stormcloaks or the Empire? I want to say Stormcloaks when I did that. I like Stormcloaks a lot. All Frick Stormcloak for the win, man. I can think of several worse openings. I agree. Starfield is not even in the running for the worst openings. Not even in a Bethesda game.
Keep in mind, I've reviewed hundreds of games at this point. The first 10 hours, you're over-encumbered, you lack oxygen, your ship sucks, your weapons are weak, you don't have any talent points.
But, like, half of the fun of playing Starfield is getting acquainted with it and upgrading, you know? Like, it's not... I spent a lot of time figuring out how systems worked because I wanted to upgrade all my stuff. And it didn't feel worthless because I did get all that stuff upgraded. Unpopular opinion, I didn't like Red Dead 2's opening very much. You know, I think that's completely fair. It's very long. I struggle with games with long openings like that. But yeah, I mean, I totally understand. It does take a while. Casual racism. Okay, I see how. Empire all day. To be fair, it's been a long time since I played that quest in Skyrim. I need to actually go back and play through the main quest in Skyrim because I haven't played through... Well, like I said, I've never beat the main quest in Skyrim, so... He's complaining that you start with nothing. Exactly, which is like, that's literally how most sci-fi stuff works.
It takes this game quite a while to get started, but once the ball is rolling, once you get those early unlocks, the game becomes dramatically better. What?
Dramatically? Bro, we need to have a grammatically correct conversation.
What's funny is that people are actually theory crafting how to make this first 10 hours suck.
Popular opinion, I don't like any Monster Hunter openings. You are not wrong, Golden Bucket. You are not wrong. Rise was okay. Yeah, Rise wasn't too egregious, surprisingly. I actually didn't mind Rises. But yeah, I agree. Monster Hunter openings are like the worst part of the games.
Class, because man, I do think a lot of people that download this on Game Pass are going to completely bounce off the greatness of late game Starfield.
I don't know about that though, man. Like I showed earlier, 6 million people playing this game. Like, I don't know about... I don't think that's people bouncing off of it, you know? Like, I feel like the opening is strong enough to carry people through at least to the 10-hour mark. Yeah, Fallout 3's opening. You want to talk about a rough opening to a Bethesda game? Fallout 3. And I love Fallout 3.
There was a recent quote by the director of the game, Todd Howard, where he said, "This is the kind of game where the more you put into it, the more you get out of it." And he's...
Before he says his thought on that, I 100% agree with Todd. It really is what you make of it.
100% correct. But let's actually talk about this in 3 separate chunks. Let's talk about the gameplay. Let's talk about the, in my opinion, incredibly awful story.
Yeah, that
and
opening.
Finally, let's discuss some technical details, because now that I've played this on both Xbox Series X and a high-end PC, I definitely have some thoughts on how this game looks and runs. Now, first and foremost, the gameplay is fantastic.
I agree.
Top freaking notch. I have played every single Bethesda game. This is the best Bethesda gameplay ever.
I would also agree. I think the combat and you know how I know this is good gameplay? Because it's the first Bethesda game where I've played 90% of this game in third person. And I can't remember the last time I did that in a Bethesda game. I mean, like, I've done it in Skyrim and stuff, but most of the time it's just walking around. Combat I normally do in first person. But I 100% agree. I can play this game, no problem, third person.
The shooting is nice. The aiming is tight. The combat is just so addictive. And also, I think they do something incredibly smart. When you're playing something like Skyrim or Fallout, a lot of times they bombard you with bandits. There's random fights all over the place. Whereas here, I certainly had times where I didn't get into a single scuffle in an entire hour, and I kind of enjoy that. The fighting in Starfield always feels very purposeful.
Yeah, I think that's fair, honestly. I would say that, like, it will, again, going back to the RPG point, it's very much an RPG. So, like, you're only going to get into fights if either you cause them or somebody else causes them. And yeah, I think it's great that you have those different options to talk your way out of stuff. Yeah, I agree. Rare Dreamcast guy W take. He's actually not wrong on this, surprisingly. I agree with him so far.
Like, there were times where I bumped into random space pirates and got into a fight that I wasn't prepared for, but 99% of my fights were storyline related. They were people that I was trying to kill, like pirates that were guarding a base where I was trying to rescue some civilians. Most of the fights have this prep period that I really kind of enjoyed. It felt like every fight serves a purpose beyond just, hey, kill 6 guys. A lot of times there is this extra layer of world building, even just to these encounters you have in like a random underground lab. But part of the reason this combat is just so fun to me is the incredibly deep talent system. This is...
So far, I also agree. I might actually speed this up, because so far he's not really saying anything I disagree with. Yeah, I know. I'm thrown off by that as well. He's complimenting it quite a bit. Let's put it at 1.5 speed.
Literally my favorite part of the entire game. Every time you level up, you get a talent point. And you can put this into stuff like survival, combat, tech, science. These essentially let you choose how you're going to play. Do you want to fly better and up your piloting level? Do you want to actually go into trees so that you can hack better or heal better? I mean, my favorite stuff is I went heavy into the gun tree, and I made it so that my ballistic weaponry dealt more damage. Headshots crit for a lot more. Being able to do some scoped hits. I could actually hold my breath or even aim better in general with a lot more accuracy. What I love about this talent tree is that it ups your passive damage levels. What that means is that not only are you just going to be hitting a lot harder, but additionally, new weapons you find are automatically going to be stronger. What's so fun about...
So far, yeah. Let me just skip forward a little bit, because so far he's pretty right. Bro's the only rapper anime was afraid to this. Dreamcast guy. It's like this versus the guy she told you not to worry about.
Starfield is that as I'm trying to finish quests, as I'm looting a random dungeon or something like that, it's cool that every item feels like it fits my current adventure. I also like the fact that there's just such a wide range of like pistols and shotguns and rifles and laser guns, and each of them definitely behaves differently. This is something they did very well in the Fallout games, but I like the fact that everything feels realistically futuristic. Now, let's
So far, yeah, I agree. Man's actually making some good points.
Talk about the ship combat in a way that doesn't spoil a lot. I'm going to show just a...
By the way, I like the ship combat quite a bit, personally. I don't know if that's a popular opinion or a dumb opinion, but I like it. I like getting into dogfights.
Tiny bit of gameplay here because, to be honest, the people I fight in my ship and some of my ships themselves are kind of spoiler heavy, but I think the ship fighting is okay. The dogfighting, like when you're out in orbit battling against people, it doesn't feel that special. It's pretty decent. The controls are definitely very...
Yeah, NASA punk. I love that that's like the phrase that they coined for it. It's so cool.
Responsive, but at no point did I ever win in space combat and cheer. It always felt...
Oh, dude, I did that all the time. The entire time. Like, there was a couple fights where, like, I honestly shouldn't have been able to make it out, but I did, and it felt awesome.
like this mandatory thing. Sometimes I just come out of warp and have to fight somebody, and it's just
more realistic take on future sci-fi. I like
part of
that idea.
The repetitious cycle of exploration. I don't think the space combat is that good, but other people do seem to enjoy it. So I'm going to say this could be one of those times where I'm not a fan of it, but it is incredibly good for the people that are craving laser beams in outer space.
What I will say, though, is, like, if you make a ship that you're really proud of, I actually spent a lot of time with the ship customization, and I made some stuff I was really proud of, which I actually, after we watched Dreamcast Guy, I was thinking we might just go in so I could show you guys, like, what my ships look like. Nothing spoiler heavy, by the way. Everything I have is spoiler free, but this may sound like I'm in baby mode, but ship fighting is too difficult for me. You know what? I totally understand that. Because one thing I actually realized watching DSP, if you don't understand the ship stuff, like upgrading it and getting the right upgrades for it, it's going to feel very daunting. So I totally understand that.
But to talk about gameplay, we need to discuss the biggest downside to it, which is that at times it feels incredibly hollow. This game is based on a tile.
Okay, here we go. Here are some of the negatives.
Tile system. Whenever you land on a planet or fast travel to it, it just populates a little tiny square of the Earth itself. So that means you're...
Oh, really underrated feature I haven't heard anybody talk about. When the game makes the loading screen the photos that you've taken. That is so cool. Almost all of the loading screens I've had were pictures that I took. And it is so cool. I can't believe that, like, that's something they implemented, but I absolutely love that feature. More games should do that.
You're going to get some random hills or sometimes some little bases and stuff, but if you're not actually there for a specific...
All right, Webbs. Much appreciated, man. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I loved it. Appreciate it.
Pre-designed
take it easy,
quest,
okay?
Every planet that I ever went to felt incredibly boring, incredibly empty, incredibly basic. And to me, this does suck.
I wouldn't say they really feel all that boring, though. It really depends on what you want out of it. Like, not every place is going to have a big old city, you know? Because, like, that's part of the thing, too, with it being so early into, like, humanity reaching out into the stars. I think it fits kind of well with the aesthetic, you know? Because not every star has actually, or not every planet has really been touched yet.
Person that grew up loving Bethesda games, I mean, every single square inch of Morrowind is hand-built. It has this crafted feeling to it. Even Skyrim or Fallout 4, which I know was kind of hated for its time, those games felt hand-built. They were crafted for us to love. They were built so that we could find little hidden secrets or side forts. This game definitely feels like it's just a lot of filler when it comes to the actual environments.
I would say the places with big cities are not filler at all. I would say places that kind of have more of that No Man's Sky thing where, like, you have to kind of survey the planet. That is kind of, but, like, that's also kind of the whole point of you being in Constellation is to survey the planets. So I'm kind of 50-50 on his opinion on that.
When you're in cities, they look pretty cool. When you're going through underground bases and stuff, those are pretty nice. I've definitely seen some rather insane stuff like this NASA History Museum, which I absolutely 10 out of 10 loved. But when I'm just going across some random lunar surface with zero life forms, zero things to look at, zero objectives, and not even a car to drive, it feels big and empty and boring. And times like that really drag down the experience.
Save the world by killing PlayStation fanboys with logic one day at a time. That's all you can do, man.
Gameplay loop. I heard someone describe this as exploration without destination, and I think that does kind of sum it up.
Well, one thing I've been doing with the planets, though, is when it kind of comes back to... Let me see if I can... So here, when it shows your survey thing, the fauna, the flora, and the resources, and then his head's blocking it, but there's a question mark with a circle, and sometimes there's 1, sometimes there's 3, sometimes there's 5. It really just depends. Those are your big points of interest. So over here, in the background, that's where you want to head to. So when you land on a planet, you're going to want to head for one of those locations, and then along the way, you use your hand scanner to, like, find your minerals and stuff, so your fauna, your flora, and your resources. And then anything that happens at random is basically like your normal Bethesda stuff. So it doesn't really feel like no destination. You're supposed to survey. That's the whole... I mean, that's kind of the whole thing. I can understand why it would be boring, but like, if you like No Man's Sky, you should definitely like this.
As exploration without destination,
And I think that does kind of sum it up. But let's talk about the story itself, because this is another spot that I feel like some people are going to enjoy and some people are going to hate. The side quests in Starfield are fantastic. You do everything.
I would also agree with that. Your companions, Barrett is GOAT. I love Barrett. And Vasco. Love Vasco.
Thing from connecting relays and helping out random settlers in the different parts of the far reaches of star systems to becoming a bounty hunter or a mercenary, joining the cops, or becoming a space pirate yourself. There is such an insane range of incredibly cool side quests that I really did enjoy, but they do get hurt by the incredibly freaking cringe voice acting.
You know, I heard he's like the second or third person I've heard say that. I don't really feel like the voice acting is all that cringy though. Because, like, everybody who I'm talking to sounds like the type of archetype they're supposed to be.
Now, without spoiling anything, I beat the main quest, obviously. But I think the acting in this game, the writing in this game, is definitely the worst that Bethesda has ever put out. There is so much forced dialogue that feels so bad that I don't even want to show you some of the stuff because it's so filled with terrible, terrible cringe and spoilers. But there are times where people are asking you about the nature of science and dreams. People that are trying to stop you and ask you about, hey, how do you feel about love and trust and the universe and our
Okay, he's getting a little dramatic about this.
Connection, man. I would say that about 90%.
Barrett is naturally like that. So Barrett is going to be your guy for that. Yeah, the faces can look a little off. It really depends though. Like on my PC it doesn't, but maybe on Xbox it does. I don't know. Like, but the dialogue thing, like some people are naturally like that. Like you literally have, when you go to New Atlantis, there is a whole like religious faction that their whole thing is to talk like that. So like it's really not that off-putting.
Of Starfield feels like super deep, pretend philosophical nonsense. I'm a person that has read a surprising amount of philosophical books. I mean, I don't know why I went through this weird phase of reading about philosophy books of semiotics and symbolism and, stuff like that. So watching this game try and broach heavy topics while mixing it in with...
Well, let's be honest. The topics that they're hitting are way heavier than anything Fallout or Skyrim did.
Very bland quest lines. For me, it absolutely did not work. Additionally, man, do I hate the main...
Not as good as The Last of Us 0 out of 10.
Story. I hate the plot twists.
You know, I hear that, but I didn't hate it. I don't understand why people hate it. I think actually I have a theory as to why people hate it, but I'm not going to say it for spoiler reasons. But I don't think it's that bad.
This feels like NASA tried to fund a Marvel movie. It's got...
I don't agree with that.
Great graphics, it's got big explosive moments, it's got some really cool set pieces, but the actual way that people communicate this plot, it is terrible. Now,
I also don't agree with that.
Obviously, to each their own. I'm sure some people are going to enjoy this, but this is just like so freaking bland. This is the most bare bones basic of stories that has the most poor timing of anything. I don't even want to spoil it, but there are moments in this story that are meant to be big shockers. Times where like a character passes away or somebody in the party betrays you and stuff like that. But
dude, he needs to shut up. The spoilers are really kicking in.
The acting is so flat. People are like, hey, everybody constantly talks like they're about to say a joke. Good news, bad news, a little bit of intergalactic, horrible war crimes. No matter what, everybody constantly sounds like they're about to say a joke. Like, hey, wouldn't it be crazy if we all just went and partied? Be serious a little bit.
He's taking this too far. It's really not like that.
I actually think my biggest problem with this game does come down to the fact that the game feels like it wants to be silly, and then it tries to tell dark storyline moments, and they just don't land. I still think the universe of Starfield is fantastic. If they ever come out with DLC, I'm definitely going to play it. I think certain elements of this game are incredibly brilliant when it comes to the world building. I especially love how they incorporated NASA. Again, no spoilers, but man, that is so freaking top-notch. My problem is the fact that it feels like it's trying to engage you in the most pathetic way possible. Now, ending off, let's talk a bit about some of the technical aspects of this. I think, for the most part, the graphics here are surprisingly good.
I agree. I don't think they're that bad. I mean, there are times you'll get to something that'll look kind of off, but mostly I think it looks great.
Both on Xbox Series X and, of course, the PC. And visually, the game looks truly spectacular. seeing a bunch of stars, traversing these empty planets, and just seeing random burnt out landmarks, or even the flash of using one of your special abilities to toss a bunch of enemies up in the air, or even the muzzle fire as you're trying to hide from an opponent. All of that looks truly freaking perfect. I mean, this game, even if you just actually played it on mute, even if you skipped every cutscene, I do think you'd have a good time just getting a chance to explore, warp around, enjoy the fact that this game is actually pretty decent. But that does bring me to the downside of it. There is some graphical issues, sometimes where stuff just definitely doesn't render correct.
I have arrived. Me Man, what's up? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. And Anthony, thanks for coming back. We're kind of just checking out Dreamcast guys' thoughts so far. The heel versus babyface, we all kind of knew that was a meme. Under the Mayo has, I think, the worst review on Starfield. It's pretty rough. Mark, what's up? Along. Dude, thank you guys for coming by. I really appreciate it. Yes, I did get further in Baldur's Gate 3. I got to Act 2. Which I guess that's probably not too far, but yeah, it's great. Yes, I did speed up the video just a little bit because Dreamcast guy, he's being a little bit slow on this one. So just wanted to get to some of the points a bit faster.
I had weird issues where my characters had like a glowing outline at times, which looked very, very weird. My biggest problem, though...
I don't really know what he means. Glowing outline? I don't really see anything. I got to Act twice. Yeah, dude, no. Act 2 is so interesting. Planet exploration is boring, but also exploration is fun now. Exactly. That's the type of hypocritical stuff that I don't like because it makes it very hard to follow your review on stuff. I've been engraving Nordic runes onto a fish bat for fun. That sounds awesome. That's really cool, dude.
Is constant load screens. I have no idea what technical drawback they're dealing with here, but if you're playing this on Xbox, there are 20-second load screens all over the place.
I don't know about that one. I think they must have patched that because like Webbs was saying earlier, he only had like 5-second load screens, and on my PC, I'll show you guys a little bit here too. But I haven't had any problems with load screens. It's like 3 or 4 seconds maybe. It's insulting trout. I hate trout. That's fair. Worst fish 0 out of 10. Not good. Load screen the game. Everybody makes it sound like it's bad, but I'll show you guys. It's really not that bad.
Every door, every zone, even entering your ship sometimes leads to a 20-second load time, which definitely kills the pacing.
Wait a second. I just realized something. He said it takes 20 seconds, okay?
Even playing this on screens.
Okay. He's about to enter this. He's showing this for his example, okay? 20 seconds. Let's pull up the clock. Not bad. At what specs? 3060 for the graphics. Got, what am I running? 16 or 32 gigs for RAM. And then I'm running on a Ryzen 5. I'm playing it right now. The load screens are fine. Yeah, exactly. Like, okay. Let's do this real quick. I want a stopwatch. Okay?
I have no idea what technical drawback they're dealing with here, but if you're playing this on Xbox, there are 20-second load screens all over the place. Every door, every zone, even entering your ship sometimes leads to a
10 seconds. 10 seconds. So that's half the time. And then I started it about a second earlier, so it's about 9 seconds roughly. PlayStation can publish some really great first-party titles, but their business practices and fanbase are insufferable. I feel that big time. Thank you for coming by, Littell. I don't know if I've seen you here before, but I really appreciate you coming by. On an SSD, by the way. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Xbox isn't much better either. Any of the console fanboy stuff is rough. Oh, that is a good point, Golden Bucket. Thank you for pointing that out. Let's go... So, let's see.
There is constant load screens.
That is a very fair point. So I'm assuming it'll probably hit 20 then.
I have no idea what technical drawback they're dealing with here, but if you're playing this on Xbox, there are 20-second load screens all over the place. Every door, every zone, even entering your ship sometimes leads to a 20...
Okay, still though, it was only about 11 seconds. From the time he clicked to the door, it was only about 11 seconds. was overhyped in my opinion. I agree. I think the hype is honestly what is causing people to like feel so butthurt about it, because it's really not that bad. I'm trying to understand what you said, man. I like the runes though. Yeah, that still really isn't that bad though.
20-second load time, which definitely kills the pacing. Now, if you're playing this on PC, like a lot of this gameplay here is, it runs fantastic. I'm playing this on a solid state. It is incredibly swift to teleport around, to fast travel, to hit orbit. Most of my load times are like 3 to 4 seconds, but if we're thinking about the console experience, if this is supposed to be the must-have Xbox game, it definitely needs something to try and speed up that moment-to-moment action. Now, the last thing I definitely want to gripe
I mean, fast travel is not really moment-to-moment, but okay.
About is the fact that, honestly, this game relies way too heavily on fast travel. Almost.
Okay, so this is actually one of the reasons I brought up Dreamcast Guy's video. I've heard this a lot. And while I understand that fast travel is a gripe, we have to also take into consideration that we are talking about space travel, and Bethesda went with a realistic space travel, right? So that 7-hour thing that you guys had seen, I'm pretty sure it was Alana that did that. 11-hour Starfield. Translates to likes and rest. Oh, that's awesome, man. I love that. Thank you. Yeah, so it was Alana Pierce. We'll just go to Reddit. Pluto without using fast travel in game. It took 7 hours. So you can do it the traditional way. Obviously, you'll still have to like land, I think, using a menu. But if you want to travel to the planets, you can. But it's like you either take 7 hours or you fast travel. I don't really know that there's a way to get around that. Like, if you've played No Man's Sky, it's very much the same case. The only difference is No Man's Sky is less realistic with its time travel, or not time travel, with its, like, space travel. Not by a lot, but it is, like, it's gonna take a while. It's space travel. Like, even in Interstellar, what was it, like, a month or two it took them to get to the planets they were in? So I really think that's a thing about space. I don't think that's a thing with the game. Fast travel's not really that bad. I'll even show you guys too. I'm going to show some gameplay of mine here in a little bit.
Every moment that I was playing this game, it felt like it was just so reliant on almost getting you from place to place. And the deeper you go into the story, the weirder this feels. You just open up your star map and teleport to locations, or even if...
But that's the thing though, man. Like, you have the option to fly there if you want. If you didn't have the option, I'd completely agree. But you have the option. The only difference is, do you want to spend like 12 hours of your playtime flying your ship, or do you want to teleport? And about the HVB rant, apparently anti-woke grifters are no better than the things and people they criticize, if not worse than. That's exactly what I'm saying. I think that with heel versus babyface, it's a thing where he's been terminally online for so long that he doesn't like... I don't think he goes and interacts with a lot of people. That's kind of my thing with a lot of these people that freak out like this. I just don't think they interact with many people outside of their space.
If you have to actually go into space and hit warp, a lot of times you're warping in just a couple seconds. I'm a massive Star Trek fan, so I was hoping for some amount of traversal, of exploration, of moments to really kind of catch your breath and marvel at space.
But you get to do that, though.
And this game gives you none of that.
I don't understand what he means, though, because you literally are in space. Like, I don't know, man. I don't understand.
As a classic Bethesda fan, games like, every single Elder Scrolls, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, they have those really good times where you see the next destination, times before you unlock a fast travel point where you have to forcibly sit and acknowledge the grandeur of the land.
You actually do have to do that, though, with the later star systems. In order to get to... Because you'll start on the left, or like towards the middle left, and then as you're going, you actually have to go... I'll even just pull it up. Starfield star map. Yeah, so when you start more towards the left here, and all these different systems Oh, actually, the map goes down further this way. But all these systems, you can't just travel to. You have to have enough fuel and everything. So you actually have to go to, like, ping pong back to forth to closer systems. That's one of the reasons I don't really understand the fast travel thing, is it's like you do have to properly travel and go. You can't just, like, go from here to here. You have to map it out. So you go to here, then to here, then to here, then to here.
Here, you land on a randomly populated planet, you walk across some sand dunes, you shoot a couple invaders, and then you leave. The combat is fun, as I've said, but when it comes to actual world building, fast travel massively detracts from caring about this universe.
I just don't agree. Have you had the chance to play this on Steam Deck yet? Yes, I actually started playing it last night on Steam Deck. I want to say it was saying I had about an hour and a half. Typically, the Steam Deck battery is pretty decent on telling me like how long it'll last. I want to say it said I had about an hour and a half. Of course, low settings, everything. I had FSR on. I had VSync on. And I was getting, like, it really wasn't too bad. I think it was running at a fairly steady 30. If anything got too crazy, it would dip kind of rough, like into the 20s, but for the most part, it wasn't bad. Now, I would be curious to see how it would do with, like, New Atlantis, because I bet New Atlantis is a nightmare on Steam Deck. Because I've noticed the game chugs a lot with NPCs, but yeah, overall, I mean, I think it's playable. Yeah, if that's your only option to play Starfield, I think it's at least playable.
Starfield is not a bad game. I actually think it's pretty dang decent. It is a steal of a deal on Game Pass, but...
I agree. I think it's great for Game Pass especially. I think it's probably the best game Game Pass has had in a long time.
As a Bethesda project, it's probably my least favorite game they've ever released other than Fallout 76.
See, I feel like that's doing it a little dirty, though, because 76 is so... 76 to me feels kind of lifeless. Now, it's better now, but I don't know. I'd rather need to fast travel over compacting the map to make it more reasonable to not fast travel everywhere. Plus, you have more space to have more content to interact with. Yeah. That's the thing, too, is, like, the fast travel, at least it's making you explore, right? Like, it's expanding you, so it's like, okay, you have to go here, but you have to explore parts of it, you know? You can't just fast travel to every single spot. You do have to unlock them. So at least there is that. That's part of the reason you survey the planets, is to find different spots to be able to, like, park your ship.
Okay, so we've heard some good and some bad, but let's go over to the ratings board and put a big number on it.
I'm not a fan of a number system, but let's see.
I am giving Starfield a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, that's a little cringy, not gonna lie. I don't think that's a terrible score, honestly. I'm having too much fun to really care about a number score, but I think that's a reasonably fair score.
Thank you so much for watching, gamers.
Okay, that's enough of Dreamcast guy, I think. Okay, do you guys want to see some Starfield, like, actual gameplay? Let's see how it works in its current state. So let's see here. Let me just get chat running up on my phone real quick so I can actually see what you guys say. Okay, fantastic. Let's get going. I'll get to show you guys my ship. There won't be any spoilers, I promise, by the way. Because there are some things that could be considered a spoiler that I've done, especially after the main quest, but I have gone off that so that it will not show any spoilers. Okay. I do also think it's really funny, though, that they said that thing about the loading screen. All right, so let's see here. Let me get chat pulled up. I prefer the Egyptian sand frog rating system in 1313. I mean, to be honest, that'd be a little bit more interesting than just the normal 1 to 10. All right, so what do we got? Where am I at? I bet you I'm on... Is it Pyron? Is that the name? Oh, I'm on Aranye. Okay. Alright, so here's kind of the system. Now, this kind of looks like a Mass Effect map style. And then you can zoom out. That's your 1-star system. Alright? So then you've got your different star systems. So, like, if I wanted to go to anywhere marked red, it's telling me it's a higher level. And then also, I can't just work to it because it's an unexplored route. So I would actually have to go to the star systems that connect to it. So that's one thing I think Dreamcast got kind of wrong, is like you actually do have to explore the route you're taking. Now this, I've gone there. It's a straight jump. But it's not a very good 3D render. But yeah, that's a straight shot. Whereas like this is further back. You see, that's further back. But let's see. Let's just go to space. Let's try going over. Not Alpha Centauri. Let's just go here. Do you have to rely on building your own ship, or can you just buy another ship? There are ships you can buy. So if you don't want to build, if you don't want to mess with it, you don't have to. I really, really like building my own ship, but yeah, you don't have to if you don't want to. This is so similar to No Man's Sky. Yes and no. It really depends. Combat-wise, this is way better than No Man's Sky. But from, like, the planets that you go to, those are kind of similar. Yeah, if you don't want to build your own ship, though, you definitely don't have to. You hear the Starfield song by 1DSP. Oh, yes, I did. So, like, let's see here. So that's a UC ship. Let's just see what this guy's up to.
Connection logged. Go ahead.
Oh, sweet. So, like, if I wanted to... That's one thing I haven't seen a lot of people talk about, is that you can hail out to other ships. Because there are other ships literally just in the vicinity. So I could trade with them. I could pirate them. I could ask them if they've heard anything interesting for rumors. So what does this system actually look like? So, past this, I've got this giant Saturnish ring. And there's a star station over here, so I'm just going to mark that. I'm sure the shipbuilding mechanics are cool, I'm just not too creative. I understand completely. This, yeah, this is my ship. I found out, I heard you can put stuff on your dash, I just haven't taken the time. So this is my ship. I was gonna try to show it off a little bit. Okay. I was really, really excited knowing I got to like kind of create this. Okay, so let's see, where do I want to go? So like right now my quest log, what am I trying to do? So here's one thing that's kind of nice, right? You can actually fast travel from here. So you don't actually have, that's another thing I haven't heard many people talk about. You don't have to go into the menu to fast travel. So if I want to go there, it'll grav jump me from here. The only reason my grav drive is being so slow, by the way, is because I didn't actually put my grav... I didn't allocate my reactor to the grav jump. Because you can actually... If I wanted to, I can actually divert power.
You know what, Robin? Fine. You win. I'll ask this random stranger in the depths of space if they know how to get where we're going better than I do. That's because we did jump past it. Robin, can you go 5 minutes without interrupting me? Maybe if you listened to me every once in a while, I wouldn't have to interrupt you.
This is great. I didn't even know this was coming. There's a lot of this type of stuff out in space, too. That's why I think it's weird people don't touch on it. I'm still here if you two actually want directions.
Yes, yes we do. I am so sorry about this. Some of us get a little testy when we're in the wrong. In the wrong, my ass. They're gonna say it's ahead of us. You watch. Well, we'll just...
All right. See. Let's just say your wife's right. You're heading the wrong way. I'm just gonna side with the wife.
John? I told you. Fine, fine, you were right. That make you happy? I'm never gonna hear the end of this. Thanks for your help. Make your way.
There's a lot of little interactions like that, though. I'll see they just jumped out of there, so it actually took my suggestion. That's why I think it's weird that, like, Mayo said that there was no consequences. Oh, one thing I am going to do, actually. My shields are kind of down, so I'm going to divert power from my missiles over to my shields. I love that they have diverting power as, like, an option. Like, maybe it's just me. Oh, sweet, I got water from that. I was thinking about selling my Steam Deck to get a new GPU for my PC. That'd be interesting. I would say it really depends on what you think you would get more use out of. If you have the option, I mean, getting a nice newer GPU is it's nice, I'm not gonna lie. Whether or not I would want it over the Steam Deck, it kind of depends. That's an RX 77. Oh yeah, that's a good card. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, especially if you'd rather have the nicer experience. Steam Deck is definitely for the portability aspect, so it kind of depends on what you'd want to go for, but I see nothing bad about that idea. 7,600. So one nice thing here, going by kilometers, like, I could travel to that point if I wanted to, but I wouldn't want to. Also, it would have to play the animation for it to dock. But, let's see. What's a good place we could go to? Let's go somewhere with some combat. I'm pretty sure... Is Alpha Centauri? No. Not Wolf. Let's try Valo, maybe? I'm trying to think where Attila is. Okay. Maybe Sol. That feels closer. There's Pluto. God, I'm trying to think. What is Luton system, maybe? Luton's rock. Jeez, sorry. Trouble navigating. They're asking me for help for directions, and I'm over here like, I don't remember. Samadhi, Margath, Nitra, that's not. Proof. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Okay, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. Let's just try this. Procyon. Jeez, man, I really can't remember where I'm going here. Okay. Well, let's just go... Wait, what's Cheyenne? Oh, I'm in Freestar Collective space now. That's it. Okay. Here we go. So we're gonna go to Aquila. This is where I stopped the robbery. That robbery that Mayo was talking about, that he stole from a guy and then said there was no consequences. Yeah. Which I still think that was insane. Okay, my lovely little ship. Oh, got a rainy day in Aquila today. Oh, since this atmosphere is breathable, I think I'm going to change my apparel a little bit. I like to go for a little more Western style poncho. Oh, actually, we're going to go with the gas mask there as well. I think that looks good.
Watch it. Ships coming and going.
Aquila is a perfect example of a... So right there, it does chug a tad bit, but it's mainly because of how many NPCs are on. And considering the fact that you can interact with all this stuff too...
Hi, how you doing?
It's tough living here.
This reminds me a lot of, what's it, Firefly?
Outlaws, Ashta, those bandits from the Shaw gang. This can be a dangerous place. Best to... More than a few, yeah.
Oh.
Unless you're up in the core, life around here ain't easy. Folks can find their way into all kinds of trouble.
Why don't I go take
I know it
care
ain't
of those
technically my
bandits for
fault
you?
when someone buys one of my guns and starts shooting up the town, but hopefully you ain't one of those kind.
No, ma'am.
Don't make me regret this now.
What does she have? So we got lots of ammo. Oh, sweet. It looks like I can actually buy some of the old stuff that I dropped. Whoa, that's old and classic. I actually might buy that. Just... That is straight up just like an alien laser weapon. Oh my. I love that. That's cool. What does the mag pulse take again? Mag shear, we use 50. Dot 50. Let's buy that. And all that. So we're gonna go into the wilds, I think. The Shaw gang, I think, is out in the wilds. Actually, I do know where they are. I'm not gonna lie, at times this does kind of feel like a looter shooter, just with the Bethesda elements.
Shit work, shit pay.
Whoever's talking, they're talking about a job.
Screw that. Freestar takes care of their own.
You ship pirates.
I am one of those who needs a lot of money or possessions to feel good about my life.
One thing I wouldn't really feel bad if people were criticizing for was that this looks a little brown. I think that's would be a fair thing to say. Yeah, like somebody said earlier too, I do think the ground maps could be a tad bit better. Because just showing me like blue and some voxels is not quite what I would like for that. So like for example, if I want a map, if I want a surface map, this is all I have really. And to me, that's not really gonna cut it. What did y'all eat for dinner today? What did I eat for dinner? Oh, I had Wendy's. Pulled my inner wings of redemption. Got a little Wendy's. So there's a structure out there. And then there should be an unknown. So this is Aquila City, and then if I go all the way over there, there's a structure over there as well. Ooh, sirloin sounds good. Do you do like medium rare, or what do you normally do for yours? I think medium rare is normally what I go for. I know some people though that have to have it rare, like they can't.
My brother-in-law
They
just
can't
got
do
back
it.
from 2 weeks in Paradiso.
Or not normal,
The place
like
looked
any
amazing,
kind of,
but I have
like,
to
pink
look
at
at
all.
one more vacation photo. I'm going to clean his clock.
Oh, sweet. They just gave me a quest for Paradiso. Medium rare? Nice. Good choice. I'm actually kind of newer to steak. I used to never eat it, but like, I don't know, something in the last few years kind of was getting into it. So I think we're going to go explore the structure here, because I don't think that's a part of Aquila City, is it? Also, I wonder how big the gang hideout right here. One thing I definitely recommend is always putting a good amount of points into your encumbrance on this game, because encumbrance really does kind of like mess with your CO2 and stuff. I have a special butter that turns most steaks into a ribeye taste. Ooh, that sounds really good. Yeah, man, you're in Discord, right? Or you're in my Discord, I mean. If that's a recipe you want to share, by all means. I don't see the animals out tonight. I think it's gonna switch me to my spacesuit here. Oh yeah. Sorry, me man. Whenever anybody switches up, I always get really confused. So I got you though. See, right here, man, this is the one thing I think is weird. My character's looking to the left, but there's nothing to look at. And they're walking kind of funky. That's like the only bug that I've really had that's kind of weird. I need to survey that. There's that. Sweet bush. I don't know if it's just the completionist in me, but like I love the idea of like filling up the log and just getting everything surveyed. Like, here we got... I really do like all the animals and stuff, like the handmade animals, because they look way better than any of the stuff in No Man's Sky. Uh-oh. I must have gotten far enough that there's no atmosphere. Sweet, and now I have 100% scan on those guys. What else do I got for... I really like the weapons, by the way. I think they really nailed the weapons feel in this game. Vital fluids, I'll take that. You get a lot of really nice crafting items from a lot of your enemies and animals in this game, which is nice. Golden Creeper. I don't remember seeing this one. Oh great, it gives me hallucinogens. Make some magic mushrooms out of that plant. Got water. Yeah, see, like his head keeps like snapping back to the left. That's a little annoying. That's like the one thing I would fix. Now, like, if this bores anybody, like walking across planets, I can understand that. I just hope that, like, anybody who's played No Man's Sky doesn't have a problem with that, because it's like, that's kind of what No Man's Sky is, you know? So there's the structure, and then here's a cave. I guess we'll go to the cave. I'm kind of curious what the cave would hold. A lot of the caves, by the way, are kind of like Bethesda dungeons. I do think some of them repeat themselves, which I'm not crazy about that part. Oh, shoot, there's lightning in here. That I did not realize. That lightning looked pretty rough. that might be. Well, let's just see if this guy's good. Let's see what he's up to.
Stealing my take?
Oh? Nope.
Just step away from my find. I'll let this go, but if you're lucky, you might find another one around here.
I wonder if I could talk to him. No. Wait. If I do take any of this, does he attack? He probably does. I'm not really trying to get into a fight with a random guy. Ooh, there's a nice aluminum deposit here, though. See, this is one of those spots where you can set up an outpost and then just have the aluminum. How can a ship see this? They must be docking that against me. Yeah, but this would be a good spot to set up an outpost, and then you could have it go to your ship, and then just have a bunch of aluminum coming in. Okay, cave. Where did I set the cave was? It was close. Oh, sweet. Thanks, man. Got the recipe? Yeah, feel free to DM it. That'd be totally cool. I appreciate that. Always looking for ways to kind of do that. And honestly, me and my wife are probably going to start eating more protein anyway because of the whole diabetes situation. So, yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's get out of the rain. So this is kind of your more traditional Bethesda dungeon. Oh, sweet. We got all the resources now on this planet. So that... What is that? Benzene? Benzene must just be in caves. Little extra credits lying around. That loading screen was so long. I know, dude, right? What is that? Oh, I know. Literally unplayable. I think, personally, I feel like I spent way too much of my life in that loading screen. I'll never get that time back either, dude. It's it's very unfortunate, honestly. Okay, maybe a rivet gun isn't the best, but this shotgun should... There we go. Antimicrobial and a pigment. It's not bad. Let's see what all is in this cave aside from just that. Wait, is this dead? Do they take that back to their cave? That's interesting if they do. It's really dark in here. Okay, so that's the entrance. That storage box is where I got the credits. A lot of these caves actually go pretty vertical. Oh, wait, what's that? What? Is that an alien? Or is that a plant? It could be both, honestly. Oh, sweet. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Oh, of course, the one thing I pick up. That's the thing that makes me over-encumbered. And it was literally an antimicrobial. Just fix the performance of the game. Running on a 3070 and it struggles at high settings. Have to play at medium. Yeah, that's typically what I'm doing. I'm playing it on medium. Do I need any resources we can throw out? Wait, what was this first thing I had? Alien egg? Oh, you know, after watching Alien, maybe it's not a good thing that I'm, like, running around with an alien egg. Let's just drop some of these. There we go. Yeah, I think if they just did a little bit of improvement, which I know they're adding the DLSS, I think we'd be in pretty decent shape, honestly. Cobalt. Okay. I don't think I have anything that I'm trying to make cobalt with right now. Pretty small cave, honestly. We'll probably just head back out. Benzene. So it looks like this... I guess there really wasn't much going on in this one, huh? Let's head towards one of those structures, though, because I bet there's probably a group of bandits up there. For a minute, I thought that guy was, like, at a different one. I was like, dude, you can't have all of them. And the last time I was on this planet, it was very, like, nice and vibrant and green, and, like, now it's looking pretty rough. I wonder if the weather is just, like, really harsh on this planet. Bastions are going to attack. Wouldn't hurt for some frost, though. I did level up. I should probably have put that into something. I think... What do I want to put that into? You know what? Since we're on a planet with a bunch of animals, why don't we just do zoology? I feel like that would be reasonable to put in. Oh, sweet. Yeah, the little bit of chugging, I think, definitely wouldn't hurt for them to kind of fix. Like, it does chug a little. I don't know if any Easter egg is per motion permitted. Oh, absolutely, man. I'd be totally fine with promoting your game, no problem. I know one of your buddies had asked if I could make some music for it. Totally fine. I just have to kind of know what you kind of want to go for. I think he said one of the tracks I did is kind of what he was looking for. So yeah, I'd be totally fine. I'd be totally fine doing some music for the game too. He was thinking something with lyrics, but I've never really done music with lyrics outside of like singing. But like, I mean, I haven't sing with any of the music I've made. But yeah, whatever works best for you. I really, by the way, I don't know if anybody's really mentioned it, but the whole like analog NASA style that they've gone with is really cool. Also make music and remixes. Oh, nice, dude. Yeah, a lot of what I do is synth. So, or synth? Yeah, I guess you could say. Like electronica is a lot of what I do. If you've ever listened to any of my stuff, you probably know, get an idea. But yeah, if you guys want any music, just let me know. Sweet. There's a whole farm out here. See, this is why I find the exploration cool in this game, because like you never know if you're gonna find something like this just out here. And I think it's kind of weird that everybody's like, oh, the exploration is terrible. It's like, yeah, but you do walk around Skyrim with the same type of thing where you just don't know what you're gonna find. Let's see. I like how much quieter it became when I walked in here. Oh, sweet. They have an industrial workbench in here. What else they got? I need to get some more stuff in my lockpicking. I actually really like the lockpicking in this game. Silver. Oh, okay, I can work with this. This one really makes you think. Okay. So I've got 1, 2, and 3, so if I do this maybe. How about that? There we go. And then maybe if I do that, and then that. Sweet. Alright, we're in. What is this guy? Oh, that'd be nice. I didn't know there was a medicine for that. Rhapsody on Windy Night. Oh, I absolutely was excited when I saw that. I could just have old classic books, like, in my bookshelf. Credits. Okay, let's work on aluminum, polymer, and sealants. Okay. Oh, I can actually change. That's interesting. That I did not know, is that you could actually, like, change the function of a boost pack. That is really cool. I didn't know that. Ballistic shielding, that works. Sweet. Be a little bit more bullet friendly now. Adhesive and titanium and sterile nanotubing. I wonder if I can make any of that. Because there was that little bench down there. Oh, one thing I think is cool about this is there's a lot of was it status effects. It's like you can get like addicted and sick and all that stuff like really easy. Uncommon. So if I make that polytextile. I wonder if I grab the tape, if that'll work as an adhesive. Oh wait, it probably doesn't. Let's see, will this work? No, okay, so the adhesive, the tape doesn't count as an adhesive. That's good to know. But I do have more polymer now. I wonder if this guy... Oh shoot. Somebody landed. Encumbered? Oh, I didn't even realize. Okay. Polytextile. Of course, that's going to be a thing that over encumbers me. But we'll drop the book. That should be fine. Let's see if I can get something that looks a little nicer. This still is one of my favorite suits. I love this one. And that's such a good look. Shock troop. Let's go with that. And then packs. Do I need a pack? You know, I might just sell that, because that honestly isn't doing much. But I wonder if I could change that into something. It's not bad either. Alright, resources. Let's drop a couple of this. Because I know some of this I do have back on my ship. He really did think of everything, huh? Space outpost. Or outhouse, I should say. I do think we are going to cut the stream here soon, guys. I'm going to see... Oh, wow, somebody did like, I didn't realize. They sell that. I don't see the crew though. I think we'll just take a look at the structure here, and I am curious what's going on with the ship, so I think we'll take a look at that, and then, yeah, I think after that, we'll probably cut the stream and call it a night, if that's good for you guys. Wendigo's locked. Oh, and this would be stealing, so it's not a pirate ship, I guess. I wonder if there's somebody in here that belongs to. Oops. Seeing anybody? I wonder if there's somewhere. See, now this is a little like vehicle that would be kind of nice. Like, if we could just get something like this, just like around. Kilo meat. Oh, this must be where the bread comes from. I still don't see anybody for that ship. That's weird. Just go all the way to the top. So way to go higher. See if we can get up higher. That being said, though, I also don't know if there's anything like of value up there. Well, I suppose we'll just leave this spot alone then. Well, not terribly exciting tonight, but that's Starfield, guys. In case you guys were curious, here's some of the photos I actually managed to take. And these are sweet too, because these do become your loading screens. I've been doing some severe photo dumps as of late, just because of how pretty this game is. Like, its art style is really what gets me. Dude, this right here, this one really reminded me of Dune. Same with this one. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and call it a stream, guys. I think that was pretty decent. I really appreciate you guys so much for coming on, watching me tonight. I don't know that we have many of us left, but yeah, once again, I really appreciate all the support, all the love coming out just to watch. You guys all have a great night. Don't forget, we do have the new Zombie Rice merch, so if any of you are interested, there will be a link in the Discord for that, or you could just go to my channel. But with all that being said, guys, much love. Yeah, hope you guys all have a really great night.